and that's just how we're gonna do it. All right, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of our Stay at Home open mic presented by the Barbed Wire Open Mic Series. My name is Richie Marrufo, and I'm your host. I'm the project director of the Barbed Wire Open Mic Series, which is the host to this entire project. Now, we've been doing this for about a year now, and I want to give a really quick shout out to the Neo Rican Poets Cafe. It is the home to many of the poets and performers who have been involved in this open mic as well over this past year. And, so congratulations. It has been really nice to see our communities of poets and writers and performers grow to all across the nation and, of course, internationally. We've had all sorts of cool prompts and themes and performances over the years. And so here at Stay at Home Open Mic, I'm happy that we've been going live on YouTube for a while now. And so if you're watching on YouTube, much love. I'm not really sure which stream this is. I had to do some weird internet MacGyver stuff, and not really. I just pushed buttons. But if you guys are here, I want to thank you. Say hi in the chat. We have a live chat going on, and if you're watching this at some point after the live stream, and you're just watching like the rerun, then just say hi in the comments. Let us know who did you like. We have over 25 people signed up tonight. We're gonna try and get them their time to do their thing. And we're going to be traveling all over the place, as I mentioned. So I'm going to try my best to mention really quickly where they're joining us from. And as always, we want to support the artists. So, if you haven't already, follow them online if they wish to share that information. A lot of them have their own places where they submit their own work, they publish their own work, videos, all sorts of cool content. And of course, plenty also have their own books out and merchandise. So there are a lot of ways to support. So we love to see it. With that said, we're just going to kind of dive into it a little bit today. We are a little behind schedule. Had a rough time with the getting started today. So we're gonna kick it off on the East Coast because our East Coast peeps, I know it's 2 hours later, time zone wise, and it's a little later. So we're gonna try and get our peeps on, but we'll be moving around. And so I believe our first performer also got to perform today at the Neo Rican celebration, and just had all sorts of good luck with lists. And as always, signing up early, so they get to go first. We have Deadpan Lizzie up first tonight, and it's good to have you back. Welcome, joining us from New York.
Hey, friends. Pleasure to read first. And it was a pleasure to read on Neo for the first year anniversary. You can find me. I made a little sign. You can see that. There you go.
Yeah.
Follow me there. All right. I have some new shit to share. It's called Strong Hands.
New shit.
As the shadows grow larger, so do my thoughts. Sun beating down my already fragile body, blocking out my vision, but not my hands. Staring at my hands in the shadows, looking exceptionally large, hard like tree trunks, swinging uncontrollably in the shadows and warm sun. They do not feel like the hands I have carried around for 3 decades. Feeling weighed down by everything, holding more than they asked for, looking at the skin on the back of them, very unfamiliar. Not cold and blue, nor sweaty, just exceptionally heavy. Why have they been given more than they can hold? Because they are so much stronger than they realize, and always will be. Thank you.
Awesome. You always, you always throw me off. How did you have another one?
Just one tonight.
Just one tonight? Okay, yeah. No, me, you always come with so short and sweet. I appreciate it. And yes, I am working on that that BWOMS beanie.
Yeah.
I was trying to do B-weenie. That doesn't sound as right.
I like
The
BWOMS
BWOMS beanie. Yeah, it was in the 90s today. So
Wow.
beanies are the last thing I'm thinking about right now. But I'm gonna start working on some merch for seasonal stuff. But yeah, as always, thank you. And you did it reverse today. You started with the socials. Appreciate that. That's cool. You got right on it. Thank you, Liz. Deadpan Lizzie.
Thank you.
All right, awesome. As always, much love for making it on. Yeah, it's interesting, It's a different type of performance. Like we get nerve-wracked, like anxious performing in front of people. Performing on live is kind of interesting because in many ways, like Yeah, you have everyone on the Zoom call, but your audience is kind of abstract too. You're performing online, and it's performing to almost anyone, literally almost anyone. And if you guys haven't thought about that, I didn't mean to put that fear in your head. It's an awesome thing, actually. It's a cool way, again, to document your progress as an artist. So we're gonna keep going. Let's see. We got a performer, a regular who kind of took some time off. We hadn't seen him in a while until he made his triumphant return last week. I have so many great things to say about him. I love his hustle. His flow. And more importantly, he's had our back. BWOMS, if you don't know, his Barbed Wire Open Mic series. Nico's been going. I remember many years ago, younger when we were all younger. I remember seeing him at some of the open mics, and he's kind of been our unofficial bouncer on one or two occasions. So all the love in the world. We got a performance from Nico Kim joining us all the way from Illinois. What is up, man? Thanks for joining us.
Hey guys, I'm struggling pulling up my other poem on my computer. Give me a second. Let me find it, and then I will be ready to start. I promise.
Yeah. Oh, good, man.
Well, actually, no. They're both. I need to pull. All right. Well, this is frustrating because I'm not thinking clearly, but that's all right. And I will just say, so the first part of the first poem I'm going to share is very short, but you won't see my face because I got to read it from my phone, and I'm sorry. So you don't see my face right now, I suppose. So this poem is called Persephone. The closest to objective I could be in terms of perspective of the greenest greens. I've seen that the grass is never greener on the other side, unless you're the chicken who crossed the road. Which reminds me, those who say suicide isn't a joke never understood why the chicken crossed the road. Grass only exists in the world as roots, not very green down there. But then again, a mind can make a heaven of hell and a hell of heaven. I did that backwards. Mind can make a hell of heaven and a heaven of hell. But that's all right. We always make mistakes. That's how we are human. All right, so I wrote this today. I'll do this, so it's not all. And then I'm just messing up everything right now. Great. Good memes, boys. All right, and girls, I'm sorry. Anyway, this poem, new shit, I just wrote it today, so it has no title. It hurts, this heart. I know, so cliche, but like T-Pain, I'll say it as Oakley shades. Not because I'm trying to spit at a bitch at the crack of midnight, hoping to get the mood right to get her mid-coitus outside in the moonlight. No. This spite, hanging like spittle from the tea kettle that is my mouth, burning off as my cheeks reach rosy. Watch my nose mosey into a snarl, my tongue burning because of the fire from whence my gut shot. I'm decking every motherfucker with the gut check. It sounds like I'm ready to break a Nico's neck, but your boy's just stating an observation with a stoic intent. My stoic looks like what some heroic protagonist defeats at the end of every fucking movie. We get it. Anger is ugly. And God, I hate ugly. And atmosphere taught me that God hates ugly. And God's, I am fucking ugly when I'm angry. They say don't fight fire with fire. And your boy's like, well, unless it's to fight the biggest, unless the fight is to be the biggest flame, then that doesn't make a fucking sense. But since I can't seem to keep track of the sense I lack and the change necessary to survive, it's like, well, fuck, might as well die. But like, I like vying, but like, I like trying. I like vying for a top spot, trying to wear a top knot in a different way than everyone else in the room who are just wearing it because it's a fashionable way for men to wear their hair. Well, I'm wearing it to tell everyone I have a fiance, but like maybe a few people in America would understand the rhetorical approach, but wouldn't assess wouldn't assess it to be the reason I wear my hair this way because I look like a white boy trying to be Korean. Let me in, my dog screams. Let me out, my mind cries. My mom cries at night for me. I hear it in the tone of my father's scorn the next morning, worn thin between the friction of my afterburners on red, trying to get ahead or at least get it on my damn shoulders, and the fractions of love I find in fractals of chipped off hearts between love-filled interactions. My mind's rations can only hold so much because I'm so fucking human. But every day I get reborn a new man. Maybe I'm more than overdue, and my old pursuit should not be old anymore. It's not the age that I'm angry about. It's that I thought it'd yield some form of respect. But fuck, get over it, kid. Got a job, got a life, got a 4-door and a faithless wife. Got those nice copper pipes, and got an ex, and got a room for the night. Well, aren't you such a catch? What a prize. You got a body like a battle axe, love that perfect frown, honest eyes. We ought to buy you a Cadillac. Hey, get over it. Just fucking get over it. And I can't. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that.
Yeah, awesome, man. Feel free to unmute yourselves and make some noise. Nico Kim in the house. Yeah. Okay, go. I remember those guys. They had some awesome music videos, fun music. Yeah, they were in Madden. They were also in one of my baseball games, I remember. But yo, awesome, dude. I forget that you're an awesome singer too. You got to showcase some of your songs on here. There are ways we can do it. We gotta connect so I can show you how to do that the right way. But Nico, what do you got online, man? How can we follow more of your work?
So honestly, bro, I think it's my mic, and that's why like my recording comes in slower than the recording of my computer sound. So I've got to figure that out. But I've got a SoundCloud. I think it's just Nico Kim on SoundCloud, the same way it's spelled in my name. I think it's on this side, or it's on this side. Anyway, it's on one of these corners. But Nico Kim I'm on SoundCloud. Oh yeah, by the way, I have TikTok. So if you guys like TikTok, like literally all of my TikTok is just me singing, like zero poetry, all singing. So I remembered that last week and forgot to say that. But seriously, just Nico Kim, TikTok, YouTube, SoundCloud, Facebook. I don't really have a lot of stuff on YouTube. I don't have a lot of stuff on SoundCloud. I got a crap load of clips, but I'm ranting. You guys have a great night.
Oh man, I tend to do that too, man. So yeah, dude, thank you, Nico. It's good. You made 2 weeks in a row, man. I'm counting them. I'm doing the tallies.
I'm
trying to get a nice
I
string
so
going.
many there too. I can't wait.
Awesome, man. And Itzel is visiting, you said?
She is. Mi amor, estás aquí. Mi amor, estás aquí.
Beautiful, beautiful. I'm glad. Well, you guys enjoy the show, all right, man?
This one
Hey.
too for that one.
Oh, I just want to say hi. Oh, yeah.
And
Cool.
all right,
All
guys.
right.
But
Thank you,
we'll be
Nico. Quick mute. All right, there we go. Awesome. So apparently I have like the second coolest background sometimes on Zoom, but our next performer has the number one coolest background, and also he's rocking a rare, unique white tee. So he's gonna come up with some cool words, guys. You already know. Joining us from Denver, we got Mike Sindler in the house. What is up,
Yeah.
Mike? Welcome back.
Hey, yeah, because it takes mad skills to wear a white T-shirt. Such big thing. I'm gonna go ahead and start out with something new here. It's called Fixed in Sepia. Dear faces fixed in sepia, framed in dust-encrusted gold, hooked memorial on my wall, standing figures fixed in time and space from an old world now erased, dressed in best fresh pressed finery, crisp starched crinolines under sturdy black frocks and lace fringe blouses, thick wool suits suitable for Sabbath ceremony, sewn bespoke by own hands. Proud eyes, slight smiles, fix attention forward, gentle hands firm on toddler shoulders. I hold you, long gone, deep in my heart. No gravestone stand to place pebbles on, only ash turned to dust, swirling over European plains rebuilt over rubble. staining, disappearing, staining, disappearing. Behind this pane of clarified silica, you remain enshrined, evidence of existence, fading sight of sad plight of mankind. Dear apparitional face of my family, extinct lineage that led to me, my mother's people of whom no tangible trace will carry on, trapped in sepia, trapped in the past. Who will think of you when I am past? And then I'm just going to do a haiku for yesterday. This is called April Egg. Eggs from a bunny? Maybe it's a platypus, long as it's chocolate. And today, on the other hand, is the anniversary of the passing of one of the great poets of all time. And this is a thing I wrote a while back about that. April 5th, 1997. I was a line cook then. Heard about it right before my shift. Walked into the kitchen and wrote 86 Allen Ginsberg on the slate. One of the other cooks, who was also a poet, had to leave the line and go cry in the washroom for a few minutes. I may have cooked food that was savory for the diner's palates, but there was only a bitter taste in my mouth that eve. And that being said, I'm going to read a far greater tribute. This is Allen Ginsberg Dying by Lawrence Ferlinghetti, who we unfortunately just lost very recently. Allen Ginsberg dying. Allen Ginsberg is dying. It's in all the papers. It's on the evening news. A great poet is dying, but his voice won't die. His voice is on the land in lower Manhattan, in his own bed. He's dying. There's nothing to do about it. He is dying the death that everyone dies. He is dying the death of the poet. He has a telephone in his hand and he calls everyone from his bed in lower Manhattan, all around the world. Late at night, the telephone is ringing. "This is Allen," the voice says. Allen Ginsberg calling. How many times have they heard it over the long, great years? He doesn't have to say Ginsberg. All around the world, in the world of poets, there's only one Allen. "I wanted to tell you," he says. He tells them what's happening, what's coming down on him. Death, the dark lover, going down on him. His voice goes by satellite over the land, over the Sea of Japan, where he once stood naked, trident in hand, like a young Neptune, a young man with black beard standing on a stone beach. It is high tide and the seabirds cry. The waves break over him now and the seabirds cry on the San Francisco waterfront. There is a high wind. There are great whitecaps lashing out at the Embarcadero. Allen is on the telephone. His voice is on the waves. I am reading Greek poetry. The sea is in it. Horses weep in it. The horses of Achilles weep in it. Here by the sea in San Francisco, where the waves weep, they make a sibilant sound, a sibylline sound. Allen, they whisper. Allen. Okay, thank y'all.
Yeah. Everyone's got their snaps on the screen. I love it. I love it. Nice tribute to Ginsberg and Ferlinghetti.
They were both
Yeah.
great.
Right.
If it wasn't for Ferlinghetti, we wouldn't really know about Ginsberg.
True.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely true. Great point.
Allen took off to Paris. Ferlinghetti's the one who stayed there and got his book in court and saved it. Yeah.
Imagine coming back to that. Yeah. Awesome, man. What are you looking forward to? I know you always like to rep the
Yeah,
Lighthouse Riders.
always just plug in lighthouseriders.org. Um, Something to think about as far as that. Our annual 2 week amazing festival with all kinds of great stuff. Lit Fest is coming up in July, but the catalog has come out now and classes fill up real quickly. There are some really great visiting authors and to take workshops from. So it's really, I highly encourage people to go and check out what's going on and try and get into any workshops they might be interested in as quickly as possible. Once again, lighthouseriders.org. Okay.
Perfect. I
Thanks
love it.
very much, y'all.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm always glad that you get to promote a little bit of that. Yeah. I mean, so if you guys don't have anything you want to share on your own, you can always again promote a platform that you really love. And I mean, Lighthouse Writers, that's a great organization. Check out what they have to offer. It is April. April is Poetry Month. Damn, I didn't mention that. I didn't even start off the show like that. What the heck? Uh, we are celebrating. So there are going to be so many events going on. A lot of free workshops, a lot of readings. So, definitely, if you are a fan of the craft, if you are, I think just give yourself that gift and try and attend some things. Absolutely. So, and so feel free to plug anything you guys have going on. As you perform. Share your social stuff, but also anything going on. We're gonna keep going. We have someone new to this mic, which is really cool. I'm always excited. Even a whole year in, we're getting new people. And our next performer is joining us from New Orleans, and our performer goes by the name of Atlas. You found your way, man. Welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Finn actually linked me over to this event, so I'm very, very grateful for that. I regret not being here sooner, but I'm just glad that I'm here and that I found you guys.
Right on.
Really, really supportive audience. I love that you provide feedback and very genuine, enthusiasm and encouragement for the people who speak. That's really, really beautiful. Thank you.
Glad to have you, man. Welcome.
So I've seen Mike a ton of times, so it looks like I'm stalking him online. So I figured I will go ahead and do something new. So here we go. And I know this is, for many of you, this is your first time seeing me, but I very rarely do anything that actually rhymes. So this is, again, stepping out of my norm. But for you, you don't know the difference. So here goes. They carried me through town like a trophy they just won. They got nothing but compliments and congratulations from everyone. As a baby, they could hardly wait for the moment I could walk. Then they would repeat words again and again to teach me how to talk. My parents were determined to prove I was the greatest kid. They made me feel so special and praised everything I did. But they and many after them had a completely different plan, which is where my disdain for human beings truly all began. I thought the sky was the limit until the day that I was grounded. How could you embarrass me like that? Oh, how those words resounded. The lesson started on that day, but it was some time before I would see. I would constantly seek approval and permission to be me. I salvage scraps of self-esteem through the few good people that I've met. When people aren't reminding you how stupid you are, it's actually easy to forget. I guess my parents had gaps in their life that they wanted me to fill. Their lost hopes and ambitions were disguised as my free will. I had to learn to prioritize and compromise intellect for looks, gave up on my imagination when I threw away my books. I used to have such great conversations until the day I got a phone, and I became more disconnected with every new gadget I owned. So desperate for a comforting voice, yet there was no one I could call. Everyone was busy being busy, and yet they weren't busy at all. So uncomfortable with silence, they'd force themselves to speak, but never, ever of their feelings for fear of looking weak. When I told my friends I was free of debt, they thought it was a joke. I didn't think that I was broken. I just thought that I was broke. A way to make new friends, I thought social media would be fun, but when I amassed hundreds of friends, I felt like I had none. When I tried to share my thoughts with others, they made me feel like I was rude. No one allowed my voice to be heard, so I just silenced it with food. My train ride to work was the only socializing I had left, but cell phones and headphones made everyone blind and deaf. I once thought I had a purpose, but I replaced it with a job. I had potential to be a great machine. Now I'm barely just a cog. Hoping for human contact, I ventured to the crowded mall, automatic doors, faucets, and lighting, and now I touch nothing at all. Seems like everyone goes shopping whenever they get bored, their wallets filled with credit cards to buy what they can't afford. No matter where you look, there are ads relentlessly shoved in your face, because if you're not constantly buying something, then I guess you're just a waste of space. I have memories from all sorts of places that apparently no one knows, because they just became places to eat or somewhere to buy bigger clothes. Whenever I was in pain, I cried. Now I just swallow a pill, because whatever people don't understand, they always try to kill. I stopped saying when I grow up the moment I realized I was grown. So when I lost permission to be a child, I just had one of my own. A car, an address, a house full of shit, but all I really have is debt. I've replaced resourcefulness with insurmountable regret. I thought I knew something about life. Apparently, I was wrong. Because instead of living twice as much, we should just live twice as long. A glorified storage unit is what I'm now forced to call my home. I have irrevocable envy for the homeless, because at least they're free to roam. Think whatever you will of me. This was all that I could do to summarize my tragedy in a letter signed, sincerely, most of you.
Yeah. Awesome, man. That was like a new thing that you were doing. Like, you don't usually. I want to hear your other stuff.
Yeah, I don't rhyme. I like spoken word, and I do, like, I guess what they call prose. I've actually never considered myself a poet. I just write stuff, and this was my attempt to try and be a poet. So, like a rhyme scheme, things like that.
Yeah, man, I dug it a lot. I also, you have a really cool social media account. Like, I saw your link tree. That's really
Yeah.
cool, man. So for people watching you and finding you for the first time, because I mean, you're new to this whole channel and show, we do have a lot of students, from the region who tune in and check you guys out. And so if people want to see your work and find your work online, I noticed you do a lot of multimedia stuff. How can they find that?
Yeah, I can put in the link tree over here. I mean, I'm not a celebrity, right? So my email address is right there. The website connected to that email is where you can find just my writings. I'm trying to build up more. My friends keep saying, like, you're the greatest thing no one knows about, but I've always been very averse to social media, no disrespect. So my friends actually asked if it'd be okay. I created a Google Drive account, and I gave them access to all the art that I do, all the photos that I've taken of my work, all the writings in public. I do stuff, immersive stuff in the public. And I said, look, I'm trusting you. So they said, look, we'll only post the content that you put in this shared drive, so we know it's approved because you made it. And so it's weird, because, like, I know there's the duality of everything, right? And I don't mean to take up more time, but it's like, unfortunately, that's where people are. And what I've learned in life is you can't shout from one spot and tell people, come here, come here, come here. Sometimes emotionally, mentally, physically, metaphorically, you have to go to where they are, be willing to be there with them, and move at their pace to get to where they're trying to be. And so if people are online, if people are on social media, then I've got to meet them there, to help guide them with wherever it is that they're trying to go.
Awesome, man. Great points. And I'm glad you could join us, dude. You're welcome back any Monday you want to
I
come
will
through.
be here every Monday that you guys do this.
Awesome. Yeah. Appreciate it, man. Let me see. New Orleans in the house. I love it. I gotta go back again soon. I can't wait to start traveling again. Who's looking forward to traveling and hitting up all sorts of spots all around the country? Now we got connects all over the place. We got to do some cool like shows featuring all our artist friends, all our writers and poet friends. Uh, let's do it. Let's make it happen. Not now, obviously, when it's right to do so. Anyway, so if you are watching right now, hit us up online. I know when I started the show, I was pointing at invisible. I'm so used to the routine. I was pointing at nothing. I usually have overlays that say "stay at home, open mic," and info. So I'm gonna change that for the next performer. But I do want to give a shout out to Tim Staley, who's watching on YouTube. Thank you for tuning in and checking it out. A lot of you guys weren't here yet, but Tim was one of the. I think he was on the very first online open mic we did, and I think this was even before we did it on YouTube. So he's out of Las Cruces. Always good to have people tune in and say hi as well. So what's up, Tim? You're welcome to come back anytime as well, man. Let's see. So we're gonna go ahead and go to Cleveland, Ohio. You guys ready for some urban legend poetry, some urban legendary coolness? We got the urban cowboy poet in the house. What is up, man? How you doing today? What do you have for us today?
I'm doing well today. I got an urban legend for you. Surprise. Chess master disaster. Every Russian boy who ain't a fool is taught to play some chess. Nikolai Titov, just out of school, is thought to be the best. Fans followed him on his journey towards becoming a grandmaster to this most important tourney, not suspected a disaster. Nick was leading the championship, which lasted 7 days. Every pair of Kibitzer's lips was singing Titov's praise. The way he moved his rooks and queens and pushed his pawn phalanx, opponents felt like they was being squished by Russian tanks. He jumps his knights around with joy until checkmate he forces. You could tell that Moscow boy must truly love his horses. He'll earn the GM title if he can win this game. Otherwise, this night will only bring chagrin and shame. Chess clocks were a ticking. Last round started after dinner. Smart money was picking Nikolai to be the winner. He didn't want his sweat to show. His opponent sat there grinning. Titov faced his toughest foe, the dread Sergei Dobrynin. As Nikolai began the bout, he seemed in the groove, not hassled. He calmly brought his pieces out. On the seventh move, he castled. He played the way he'd won all week, opening files and setting traps. But in a while, his game looked bleak. His position had collapsed. He'd studied rivals' strategies till his eyes were sore, but this one employed gadgetry he'd never seen before. Nikolai felt pressure that he prayed he could keep hidden. Sergei grinned like a Cheshire cat and ate something forbidden. Nick's pieces had no place to go. Where had he gone wrong? That sneer and sniveling evil foe had locked him in Zugzwang. Usually Titov domination of all the 64 forced opponents' resignation when they couldn't take no more. But this here game was causing him dismay and consternation. Things were loomed in Titov's brain, fought with over-concentration. Steam rose in him from toe to crown, brain circuits overloaded. He turned green, then sickly brown. Then his head exploded. Kerplow! Or some Russian word for a loud explodey sound. By now that awful noise was heard at every board around. Then his brain began to splatter. The chessboard was a fright. Gooey gobs of gray matter amidst the black and white. Sergei gave no reaction. He just sat there in shock. In a rare show of compassion, he switched off Titov's clock. Like Rembrandt's strokes, they say he moved. His art was pushing wood. But Russian folks say Titov proved too smart for his own good. The match to watch, the TV said, but it turned out disgusted. No one wants to deal with heads spontaneously combusted. Dr. Martinenko, brain expert, presented his diagnosis. Nikolai had suffered hypercerebral electrosis. Don't think too hard, just take it slow or this can happen to you. The Weekly World News said so you know it must be true. Thank you.
Awesome, man.
God, I left the whole stanza out of that one, but it's long enough.
Oh wow, yeah. Well, either way, that was a mind-blowing story, my friend.
Well, maybe I have time for a short song then.
Yeah, please go for it.
You were talking about jazz before. I have a version of a jazz standard.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
For lovers separated by the pandemic. I don't know one to talk with except on Zoom. No one to walk with because I'm stuck here in my room. Ain't misbehaving, I'm saving my love for you. I don't go out late, that would be wrong. I'm up about 8 and I'm stay here all day long. Ain't misbehaving, I'm keeping my love from you. Like Jack Horner in the corner, don't go nowhere, how can I dare? Your kisses ain't worth dying for, or are they? I phone and I text the one I love. I'm tired of phone sex, it's all of you I'm in need of. And misbehaving, I'm sweating my love for you. Jack gets hornier, the song gets cornier. I'm needy down there, but do I dare? Your kiss just might be worth waiting, dying for. Believe me. The virus's power came between us. I'm done with cold showers. Let's then quarantine us. Start misbehaving. I'm bringing all my love to you. Thank you.
Lovely rendition. Love the lyricism. So, Urban Cowboy Poet, I know you have your YouTube channel, and would you love to promote that and anything else you have?
Can you read that?
Yeah, Urban Cowboy Poetry on YouTube and Facebook. Perfect.
Right.
Awesome. And you're posting new content, all that cool stuff we can look forward to?
It's April, poetry month. I'm writing. I'm not getting a poem done every day, but I'm writing several together and I'm writing every day.
Cool.
And I actually finished one just now during the show, but I'm gonna look at it, tweak it, edit it.
All right, right on, man. Thank you. I'm glad you can make it on today. I think you had to take off early last time. You were kind of late on the list. So
I forgot to sign up the list early, and that was my mistake.
Yeah.
This time I did it.
Yeah, man. Glad you made it. So let's see. We're gonna keep going. In fact, I believe let's see. I'm looking at the list. Oh, we have Steve Brown in the house. What's up? I just saw you recently, joining us from Utah. Steve, how are you doing today? Welcome to the show.
All right, thanks. Okay, long time ago, I was part of the El Paso writing scene in the early 90s. And recently, not recently, 2 years ago, my wife and I took a trip across Texas. And I started out just writing some posts and kind of turned into a book. So I've never completed a book before, but I'm getting close on this. I have no idea whether it has any commercial value, but it feels good to actually be close to finishing something other than poems. So this is called The Great Texas Road Trip Thank You Tour, number 75, The Eternal Now in a Bar in Las Cruces, New Mexico. Although it's been 27 years I believe it was every Thursday night that I experienced something akin to the eternal now. Moments so perfect, so right, they linger on still every once in a while. Nights of methodical words, things said slow and right. We usually took the back road through the pecan orchards that trail northward along the Rio Grande. Sometimes it was just my brother and I, sometimes it was George and I. Usually it was all three of us. In the winter, it would be dark. Outside the window, where the orchards closed in tight against the road, lines of bony armed soldiers would file in from the black void towards the bright alien light, reaching upward towards a star-studded night in pagan prayers to powers long forgotten. At least that's how it seemed, leaving the lights of El Paso in the rearview mirror, heading into those long orchards. Compared to many other places, I'm sure the light pollution was still quite substantial, as the city didn't so much stop as dribble off. In the summer, the sun would be at a great slant, intense liquid orange pouring through the perfectly straight rows of the orchards in molten bars flung across the road, now and then igniting a white adobe facade of a house or store blindingly bright beside the roadside. In the fall and spring, yellow-tinted methane gas from nearby industrial dairies would ooze through the orchards, making the landscape resemble the fields of France during the Great War. I half expected to come across a gutted cathedral or a trench littered with twisted partial corpses. Yet even on those cold fall and spring evenings when pollution hung low and heavy as a rusted husk on an old automobile, I loved that drive. There was enough of a rural feel to recall my rural roots. More importantly, on the other side was a place I could hear the rhythms and sounds of others as well as my own voice. A mic is a sacred space for one working with words. A piece never fully comes into being on the page. The print is just the score. A reading, though, well, that's picking up an instrument and translating scribble into something oh so fine. It was a small bar in a very pedestrian place, a Holiday Inn, if I remember right. Visually soulless, very corporate, a place for weary travels too tired to seek out any real nightlife. Yet I loved that place. I still remember some of the readers, even the sounds of their voices, and how they played their instruments, where and how they paused, where and how they proceeded, each voice different. I even remember some of their names: Joe Somoza, Donna Snyder, Katie McLean. Joe read poems slow and even, often with a surprising, lightly humorous twist at the end. He would run his finger through his gray beard and peer out into the audience with intense eyes as he carefully moved forward one line at a time with long pauses in between each carefully crafted image. Donna was working on a novel then, working class. One could use the words white trash, except that would be a complete lie. That bombed out muffler Ford Pinto single wide trailer reality was definitely there. The humor one must have to survive day after day, month after month, year after year of getting nowhere was clearly there. But so was human dignity, royalty leaking out into the eternal night through an open screen door of a single wide trailer along a curbless paved road among magnolia trees as big and blooming as small town dreams before being dashed by year after year of time clock reality. Then there was Katie, short poems, funny as hell. Sometimes print didn't do them justice, but orally bust a gut sweetness poured out about a life of pushing pharmaceuticals across the drugstore counter. The things we all think dealing with customers or vice versa, but never have the courage to say aloud. In between, there'd be rum and coke. The waitress, I don't remember her name, but I remember she always made sure I got both the cherry and the lime because that's how I liked it. I appreciated that. Not everything was pure poetry, at least not the verbal type. There was a girl who liked to read in a loose summer dress and no shoes. George liked how she crossed her feet as she read, leaning on the podium for support. I wasn't sure about her words, but I had to agree her presentation was marvelous. She came with a friend who was short, had short black hair and coal black eyes intense as fire. I thought as a writer she had great potential, but I also knew I probably had no objectivity at all. She looked like she could be that young revolutionary spitfire I was looking for. If a woman didn't quite fit my dreams, I would just rewrite her until she came close. It wasn't about discovering who they were, it was more about dreaming who I could be. Maybe that's all right. Youth is blinded by forward thinking, scheming, dreaming, yearning for who we might become. In the process, there is a lot of pain, a lot of missing out on who and what we should really be seeking instead. But who would have it any other way? Not I. Once we come to a standstill and our dreams fall off, leaving us naked and alone for real, we take a look around and decide what we really need instead. Yet all that dreaming and all that scheming comes back like gentle wind in the eternal now. Take me back.
Awesome, man. Thank you. I'm glad you made it out to read and share a little bit on at one of these. And it's been good seeing you at Tumblewords as well. Yeah, shout out to Donna. We've been missing her, but she usually does check out YouTube. So Donna, if you're on YouTube right now, hello, hi. So Steve, do you have any websites or anything you'd like to promote? Any of your work online?
I'm
No?
sorry, not at this time.
Okay. Well, appreciate you stopping in to share a little bit. Thank you, man. And I guess to transition, yeah, thanks, Steve. I think to transition, I mentioned it's Poetry Month. There are a bunch of workshops going on this month for Tumblewords. I'll release, talk about the schedule. You can find it online. But for now, let's go and keep going. Next up, oh yeah, Washington, D.C. So there's something that happens at these online mics where we kind of feed off of other people's poetic energy. And it is a term that I've heard coined as poet synthesis, and a huge contributor to that. He has a dictionary, and it all starts with poet or has poet there in some form of way. He's got like the poet thesaurus. Next up, we got super energy, super optimistic. Just always looking forward to hearing what you got to say. We have Ed Poetastic joining us from Washington, D.C. What is up, Ed? What's up today? How you doing, man? I
Oh,
can't
Richie,
speak.
you are always potastic. How's my potastic people doing? I hope you're feeling porrific. I hope you're feeding on my photosynthesis. Yeah, let's do this. All right. We're gonna I have another piece. It is called hold on. It is called Knock Knock. Okay. Who's there? Should I care? Do I dare? Yes, can I hear? I'm aware. I didn't do nothing, I swear. I don't need a prayer. My house doesn't need repair. I don't need cookware. I don't need another armchair. I'm losing my hair. I don't have money to spare. Oh my God, I'm in a nightmare. Are you a grizzly bear? I'm only in my underwear. Please be air. I have nothing to share. This isn't a daycare. Yes, I'm here. Are you still there? Okay, I got another one, and it's called Language. My words are me. My words are trees. My words are happy. My words are crappy. My words are sappy. My words are scrappy. My words are fleas. My words are peas. My words are chickpeas. My words are keys. My words are teas. My words are Cherokees. My words are banshees. My words are vitamin B's. My words are vitamin C's. My words are vitamin D's. My words are free. My words are bees. My words are the sea. My words are we. Thank you, everyone. Stay poetastic. Happy National Poet Month. Woo!
Ed, man, you got anything going on for Poetry Month? Are you doing 30 for 30? Are you doing any workshop, anything going on, man?
Oh, heck yes. You know what's going on. I'm going to be at your workshop on Wednesday. I'm doing 30/30 on Facebook and I'm doing 30/30 on Instagram. So I want to say 30/30. I'm doing 60/60.
Oh, like that? Okay.
Heck yes.
That'll be 60/30.
60/30. Yeah, so 2 months, 60 and 30. You know what? Honestly, work out your own pace, man. No need to follow within the lines. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. So your social media and stuff. If people tuning in on YouTube want to check out more of your work, and if you post any of those, 60 by 30.
You gotta love the poetastic attitude from everyone. So fluorescent, magnificent, and poetastic attitude. I read attitude wrong.
I was muted. I was waiting for you to share your socials if you want, but it's just
sure, no
yeah.
problem. Thanks, bro. My social is, you can find me at Eddie Foreman on Facebook, and you can find me on IG at Ed Foreman 92. And remember, if you want to hear more, stay on Barbed Wire, stay on Neuro, and stay on they call me Mitch, and stay on Trisha's wonderful open mic. If the mic is right, I'll be there to shine my poetastic and poetific lights. Woo! Happy National Poetry Month. Woo!
Oh man, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. Thank you, Ed. Thank you for joining us, and yeah, stick around. If you're new here, if you're on YouTube right now, we have a full list we're working through. We got a lot of peeps. I mentioned at the beginning of the show, the New York Poets Cafe is celebrating its 1 year anniversary of the Monday night open mics. So a lot of people on our list are kind of pulling double duty, and they're gonna come here as soon as they have a chance. But other than that, we do have plenty of people still here in the chat to perform anyway. And Ed, has been such a huge part of these communities. You heard all those names, Fincabulary, More Than New Rican, so many great shows. So, a good resource for that is if you're on Facebook, check out the group Pandemic Poets. I think it's a private group, so you gotta know the secret password, the secret handshake. And I believe it's Mr. Tesosomok at the gates. You have to answer 3 esoteric riddles. And if you get in, it's a great place to be. Okay, maybe it's not that hard to be there, but either way, definitely jump on. Ed alluded to it, but I am doing a workshop this coming Wednesday, April 7th, for the Papagayo Project. It is one of the El Paso Community College projects that I'm involved with, and I'm going to be talking about breath as a thread between creativity and inspiration. It's actually an element that finds itself in quite a few of my poems. So I'm going to talk about, because I think it is interesting, if you look at a lot of origin stories, the breath is a significant part of that, and it's linked to creation. And you see it a lot in the arts as well, in not just music, like in bebop jazz, but in, for example, meditation and all sorts of yoga practices. Meditative practices. So I'm going to speak a little bit on that, kind of just a little brief lecture, but do some more writing workshops. And so if you're interested in that, you can just hit me up online. You can just look me up, Richie Marrufo, on Instagram, Dead Wall Reveries. Oh, I have the overlays now. So now I'm not just pointing at nothing. So yeah, I got Stay at Home Open Mic, and as always, got to figure out. There you go, Barbed Wire Open Mic Series, aka BWOMS. I'm repping all the gear today. With that said, that was a quick commercial. I'm just drawing some time while we get more people into the chat, into the call. All right. So next up, okay, our next performer signed up and didn't make it, and that's fine. That happens. Life happens. But he's here today. He's joining us from Dallas. He's got some poetry to share. As far as I remember, this is his first time here as well.
Second time.
Marcos, what's
Second
up,
time.
Marcos?
What's up, brother? It'll be my second time, I think.
Oh, dude, yes. Okay, I remember you now. Yeah, welcome back, man.
Yeah, no problem, man. Hey, you know, I forgot I even signed up last week. I may have fallen asleep. I was like, that looks fun.
Well, you're here now, man. That's all that
All
matters.
right, brother. Here we go. All right. There are things that you just can't change, like someone's mind once they've made it up, like squished bread, like the weather, like the amount of seconds in a day, 86,400 to be exact. The wrinkles in my face, I seem to worry them deeper. And I'm not getting any younger. And is that even possible to get younger? But when I was younger, I didn't think near as much as I do now about getting old. And I keep repeating age is only a number, but every time a certain day goes by, every year, a certain number goes up. The minutes, they didn't just fly by, did they? I was too busy waiting for something to bring me life. It happens while you're searching for the next big thing. And seconds, they don't discriminate. They play taps in pieces, one note at a time, nailing in stakes, wagered with hands that swore they couldn't lose in seconds. They lay a trail of intermittent but quickly forgotten chained together chalk outlines if I was going to, but I didn't. Live. We see our time here like it's a linear thing, but the clock's circle fools you, and our folded hands pray for second comings in hopes of pointing to epiphany. But I find myself speaking far more eulogies, wasting more seconds, click you into place. I mean seconds to make decisions. I mean, you can be pointed in the right direction upon any given choice. I mean second. Some choices don't get second chances, and taking chances, trying to save regrets. I mean seconds. So then you postpone last dances, making a choice that only takes a second. Or wait. Get to it later, then eventually, or maybe, then dead, then never, or maybe is never, just dressed as dead. See, there's time, the dream, work, and then you. You deny any of those and you unbalance the algorithm. And then desperately flailing hands point to uncontrollable chaos, and the snooze button can only beat regret back into ambient noise for so long. The bare minimum and just enough to get by are pillows, unchased dreams clutched to catch tears of disappointment from a heart broken by your indifference or your unwillingness or others' opinions or your amount of readiness, whatever form fear takes, to do you another solid and keep you safe, even at your own expense. Regret in his deathbed always says, I shouldn't have played it so safe. I don't want to be safe. So let's do this. Let's run down the hill too fast. Maybe we'll skin something, band-aid it with a story about falling head over heels in love with the moment and how everything we ever wanted could be fixed with the right now that we wouldn't dare save for later. See, rearview mirrors are good for backsides of dodged bullets or love that's on its way, playing catch up but right on time, like the people who have your back always are, even when they're late. And they throw the door open in some weird, authoritative but acceptingly tardy celebration of, hey, at least we're together. And we've got work to do, so it can't be too late. And this amount of optimism can light up enough North Stars for the pieces out there that are left to rescue and need an audience to cheer them home. Thanks, guys.
Damn, man. What? Yo, you guys gotta like snap it up, make some noise. Marcos, did you have another one?
That's it, man. That's all I got.
That's it. Cool, man. Tell us about ways. Do you post your content online? How we can follow you and all that?
I am a trauma-informed life coach, experience-informed poet. I can be found on Instagram at Life Juggernaut, and that's where we got most of my stuff for right now.
Right
That was
on,
dope.
man.
I was about the tail end of it, but that was dope.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, awesome, man. I'm glad you made it. Yeah, dude, keep signing up. We want to see more of you and hear more of your stuff. Thank you, Marcos. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and okay. We got people coming in now from the New Year. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another Monday night. This is how I had like the late show. This is the late show, and we're gonna keep going. We're gonna get everyone on, make them do their thing. Let's see. So next up on the mic, we do have. Who did I say was next? I didn't put anyone on the list. Yo, we got Luis actually joining us from South Korea. He's going to play a couple of songs while people transition in, and then I'll go ahead and write down the list of who is coming up throughout the show. And so Luis, if you're not familiar, he spent a couple of years in El Paso through the military, and he started coming to the open mics, which is where, we befriended each other. Luis is like one of the smoothest voices I've ever known. I always treasure when he puts out a track because it is really pleasant to listen to and enjoy. He also met wonderful person in El Paso, my friend Nancy, who is an amazing poet. And now they have a family. They're over there in Korea, and I can't wait for you guys to come back. But right now, Luis has been joining us from across the seas and in his cool studio. So, Luis, are you here with us, man? Let me see.
Hey, Richie.
What's good? Welcome, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, feel free to play a couple songs.
So this one is a song by Bright Eyes. It's called Ladder Song. Here. No one knows where the ladder goes. You're gonna lose what you love the most. You're not alone in anything. You're not unique in dying. I feel estranged every now and then. I fall asleep reading science fiction. I wanna fly in your silver ship. Let Jesus hang and Buddha sit. It's on now. The days are long now. The ups and the sundowns, and a twisted mind. If I gotta go first, I'll do it on my terms. I'm tired of traitors, always changing sides. They were friends of mine. Don't hang around once the promise breaks, or you'll be there when the next one's made. Kiss the feet of a charlatan. Some imagined freedom. All the rest is predictable. You can say you're the first to know. Bought a mantra to concentrate. Car alarm or hissing snake. I know now how it's gonna turn out, but you gotta calm down or I'll lose my place. Gotta get to the center, gotta get to the concert, run off with a dancer, gonna celebrate. And welcome the new age, and covered in warrior paint, lights from the jungle to the sky. And see now a star is born, looks just like a blood orange. And don't it just make you wanna cry? Precious friend of mine. Well, I know when a it's finally done. This whole life's a hallucination. You're not alone in anything. You're not alone in trying to be.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
man. So nice.
Beautiful.
I'm sorry, did you write that?
No. That one's by Bright Eyes. It's called Ladder Song.
You just have such an amazing voice.
Thank you. So this one's by Damian Rice, and then it's called I Don't Want to Change You. But yeah, thank you again for the kind words. Thanks, Richie, for inviting me, allowing me to play. Wherever you go, will know that I adore you. No matter how far, well, I can go before you. And if ever you need someone, but not that you need helping, and if ever you want someone, well, know that I am willing. Oh, 'cause I don't wanna change you. Change you, I don't wanna change your mind. I just came across a manger out among the dangers, somewhere in a stranger's eye. Wherever you go, well, I can always follow, and I can feed this real slow. Well, if it's a lot to swallow, just wanna be alone, well, I can wait without waiting. And if you want me to let this go, well, I am more than willing. Oh, 'cause I don't wanna change you. I don't wanna change you. I don't wanna change your mind. And I just came across a manger out among the dangers, somewhere in a stranger's eye. And oh, and I don't wanna change you. I don't wanna change you. I don't wanna change your mind. And I just came across a manger out among the dangers, somewhere in a stranger's eye. Never been with anyone in the way I've been with you, but if love is not for fun, then it's doomed, 'cause water races down, and waterfalls and water races down, and waterfalls, and I don't wanna change you, I don't wanna change you, I don't wanna change your mind. And I just came across a manger out among the dangers, somewhere in a stranger's eye.
Yeah, man. Awesome. Yeah, feel free to unmute yourselves really quick. Make some noise for that. Those beautiful covers right there. Luis.
It's nice, man.
That was
Thank
beautiful.
you.
Yeah, dude. And for people listening, I have to say, his originals are really great too. The covers are beautiful and smooth. I'm gonna steal a line from my friend Merlin Hepworth, as smooth as honey in the moonlight. And I don't know, man. We actually do have some time if you want to try one of your originals before we move on.
Yeah, sure. Damn, which one?
If you remember any.
Yeah, right. That's the issue.
Yeah. And while you figure it out, I do also want to point out, I think I mentioned it before, but Luis is playing lefty on guitar, but he's playing a right-handed guitar, lefty style. So he taught himself how to play that way, which I think is really cool and unique. And that's also just because of what he had available.
Yeah, I guess being poor, growing up poor has pros and cons. But
We find a way, man. Creativity finds a way.
This is an old song. It's called Sun. Alright, we'll see if I remember it. I'll make a face to settle my nerve, knot up my laces and head off to work, marking down prices where cost becomes known. Is it worth it? We'll know. One day we'll know. I'll catch a bus, catch a ride, catch a cold. Through repetition, it all becomes old. Days upon weeks, hands upon hips. I won't go softly, but I'll soften my grip. The sun doesn't wait. Oh, it's on its way. What did somebody say? Somebody say. Prices where cost becomes known. Is it worth it? We'll know. One day we'll know.
Right on, man. Awesome. Dude, thank you. I know I put you on the spot to play that too, but really quick, I know you got your stuff online. How can you promote that for people watching?
So on I have one instrumental release and then one song where I put music to my partner's poetry. The song's called Jacinta in the Dark, and it's on practically every streaming platform. I know I have additional music on Bandcamp, but really as long as you look up Luis Camberos, practically available everywhere. So, but I'm working on a new instrumental album, and then simultaneously I need to finish 2 more songs and I'll have a 5-song release. I've just been going through a rough patch, dry spell with writing, and that's my laptop. But
Right on cue. Cool, man. Appreciate that. If you got any links, feel free to put them down in the chat. I actually shared a link to one of the tracks we recorded a little while back, from Stardust to We Must, which is a cool song we sat together and wrote a little bit. It's a lot of fun. Your vocals definitely bring it up to, 30% cooler out of like the 5 of my original. But thanks for joining us, Luis. And I know you stick around, so maybe you can close it out at the end. But we're gonna go ahead and continue on because, as you guys saw in the Zoom chat, we do have a pretty good list, and I think more people are here now. So I think we're just gonna go ahead. This is almost like the second round. Not second round, first round still, but getting people in. So we're gonna go ahead and get back to the U.S. And our next performer, always kills it. Joining us from Storm Lake, Iowa. There's a storm brewing because next up, our next performer is Matthew Marroquin. Matthew, what is up, man? How you doing?
Storm brewing.
Yeah, I don't know. It's cheesy. I'm gonna mute myself.
Hey, no, we
you
in Iowa. It's a corn. Hold on. It's a corn state, so it's corny.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's awful. Okay. Yeah, I guess I can do a couple. Oh my gosh. I haven't been able to like get anything like really big out, so that's why I'm like, I gotta go after all these like really, really good ones. I'm like, so these are 2 I wrote like scribbles in my notes, basically, and I haven't had a chance to really like go into them yet. But we're gonna read them anyways, because that's all I got right now. This one's Teen Titans related. I have a lot of poems that are Teen Titans related. This is one of them. I got no Titans Tower. The air is like a white fog that burns your tongue when you shake it to share your song, and nothing really makes sense. My 4 white walls have never felt like home to me. A singular window that only shows brick across meadows and a concrete slides. Home is set to be where the heart is, where the ones you love are. But what if you have no one left to love anymore? I mean, I don't really have any friends, none to create a Titan's Tower on a stone island off the coast of a city that adores you for saving it with your superpowers. I have no pets, nor are they allowed, nor do I particularly enjoy taking care of animals. Is home given to one, or is it created by oneself? If home is given or created, can it not be destroyed? Was my home destroyed without buildings falling? And is that why my soul feels like a homeless husk, like the corn after a harvest? Why do we even need a home in the first place? Nomadic tribes went where the food was and left when the food left. Am I just a wanderer following the crumbs of my dreams until I run out of bags to carry them all in, or have enough to put it all together, whichever comes first, I guess? I want my own room in a Titan's Tower, created by friends who are all different, but are all in it for the same cause. Maybe that's what I'll do next in life, because I really don't know what I'm doing here, just kind of following these crumbs, the bread trail, but these ducks be picking it up. And now I'm just here thinking, what should I do next? What should I do next? Maybe I should try to build a home for myself. Yeah, that's what I got for that one. It's the first one. This one's more literal. Literally wrote it just because like my eyes were hurting. I'm just like, man, like Zoom burnout. I'm just like, man, I don't know how to explain this. I'm gonna try to explain it, but I can't really explain this. But no title for tired eyes. I don't know. That's what we're gonna call it. Bro, why can't I stay away from the screen? My eyes hurt. And my body craves the sunlight, yet I don't know how to live without the screen, and I can't work without having a screen sometime throughout the full day. And is everything, about the screen that they warned us about, my generation, the generation above warned us about to get away from the screens because, I just can't break these chains surrounding my eyes that connect to my phone or computer. Quarantine just made it worse. Because on bad mask days, it gets hard to feel free outside the confines of four walls with no people, no life, no light in the eyes to fill me up. So I go to the warmth of my overheating phone battery to coddle me and create that mirror sparkle in my eyes, the reflection that brightens me up, send me out into the world where I hopefully connect connections. I need more connections. I'm alone without the phone or computer to light up my life. That is not even alive. Damn. My eyes hurt. From typing this up even, but like I need, or even just reading this, but I need to let my eyes scream somehow because they're tired. And I guess I could pull out the paper and pen, but my wrist is brittle from arching over my keyboard, thumbs weak from texting, where I resorted to swiping to save energy to go faster. My eyes are always going faster. Where was this going? I can't remember. My eyes are tired. Why can't my eyes look away? I'm tired. My eyes are tired. My eyes are tired. They just want to sleep, but not without looking at a screen or watching TV before they close. Heavy-lipped, deaf eyes to the world around me. Good night, eyes. Hopefully I can say that soon. Good night, eyes to the screen. Buenos noches. That's the piece.
Damn.
I totally made up that last stanza right there. Like for both of them were incomplete, so I didn't have a finish, so I just kind of had to make something up.
That's awesome, man. FYI, that fire you just heard, I just came up with it on the spot. Cool, man. Cool. So tell us about your upcoming not chapbook.
Not chapbook. We're talking about not chapbook. It's
okay. I thought we established last week. I know. I'm just playing around.
That's freaking El Profe, though.
I know. I'm just messing with you, dude.
I have a chapbook coming out. Most I think they're even renaming the whole thing. So Red or Green Books Publishing. Red spelled as READ. Run by Marissa Prada. There you go. It's in the chat. But posting chapbooks. Mine's actually a chapbook because it fits the requirements of the page length and everything, the thematic of a chapbook. Therefore, it's a chapbook. Bro, if you're out there, if you're listening, yeah, it's technically a chapbook. But it's okay. It's okay. Whatever. So I got that coming out this summer. So follow me on Instagram. Let's go there first. Vida_Marroquin, VIDA_MARR. Well, it's actually just right there. So you can just read that, Marroquin. Or, you can find me right there too on Facebook as well. And, just find me and I'll be releasing more information about my stuff. Yeah. Yeah. That's all I have for now. End it there.
Hell yeah. And endings are always hard, man. I like on the live stream you pointed at the Zoom chat. You can find me here. I think it's crazy. The little corner there, trying to figure out all your which way is which way, stage left, stage right. I don't know. Zoom left, zoom right. But check it. And I know Matthew's doing all sorts of cool things during Poetry Month as well. You got some writing. You got a writing game.
Oh yeah, with Vocabulary. April 13th at what, 1:30? 1:30? Yes, 1:30. Over here tell me yes. 1:30 Vocabulary. There's a whole event on Facebook. Poetry games. This first one is with me, Matthew Marroquin. So be there.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Gotta shout it out. Like I said, and I know like a lot of you guys joined in, but like definitely shout your stuff out. We got going on. You heard a couple names that they're also signed up, so they'll be performing pretty soon tonight as well. So thank you, Matthew. As always, let's see. We're gonna go ahead and go to LA. We missed him, I think, last week or the last couple of weeks. So he's
No, it
back.
was just last week.
We have Abraham in the house. What is up, Abraham?
What's
Yeah,
up,
just
Rich?
last week.
It
That
was
felt like
just last
forever.
month.
Yeah.
No, man. Yeah, I was going through different emotions, over a lot of personal things. So, I had to sit it out for, last Monday. And for those who were at the New York tonight and performed, first of all, I just wanted to say those were dynamite pieces that each of you guys did. Wish I could have performed, but I was at IHOP yesterday and I tried to sign on and my internet and the signal there was kind of slow, so I missed it. But nevertheless, I got to sit out and watch, and it was great. And I got 6 haikus and 2 short pieces that I wrote back in January. And yesterday, as we know, was the 53rd anniversary of Martin Luther King's transition, under, of course, he was assassinated or whatever. It was untimely, but let me just get to these pieces. So starting with the haikus. Number 1, lover or fighter? Why pick one when I can be all of the above? Number 2, life begins at death. Eternity never ends in the other world. Number 3, been 53 years since Martin Luther transformed from doctor to king. Number 4, dollar signs branded on slaves worshiping money dead presidents own. Number 5, Earth is a woman carrying human beings inside of her womb. And number 6, skeletal remains live underground forever in peace and freedom. All right, I'm gonna get to these 2 short pieces that I wrote in homage to Martin Luther King. The first one is Promised Land. The Promised Land, a beautiful utopian place. Come see for yourself. Feel the warm embrace of angels swooping you up with their wings for a free one-way flight to see the King of Kings. When they drop you off at the gates of pearl, you will stare in awe as you enter this other world. Reaching your final resting place, a mansion on Golden Street, standing tall on a holy hill with plenty of food to eat. So rich in this land of milk and honey, you will never go a day thirsty or hungry. Housing is absolutely free of restrictive covenants, an abundance of shelter, no skid rows full of tents. Since you need not apply for a loan, banks can't come in to foreclose your home. Should you fall behind on your monthly mortgage payments? Oh yeah, I forgot. You won't receive such statements. This is paradise, an eternal vacation from jobs. Don't worry about being placed in a class of have-nots. Caste systems don't exist here to keep you at the bottom. Trust me, police won't be around to cause any problems. That's right, my friend. You heard correctly. No prisons in sight to strip you butt naked of basic human rights. Best of all, in this promised land, all lives truly do matter because everyone is valued equally in the hereafter. I only wish America would get her act together, follow by example to make her nation better. She's never been great. Her record speaks for itself. After 244 years, she's still in dying need of help, purging from her social, political, and economic digestive system the deadly triple threats of racism, sexism, and capitalism. Only if America will accept the helping hands of everyone working for freedom to build her a promised land. And this last short piece is called The Language of Riot. And that was a quote made by Martin Luther King where he says, riot is the language of the unheard. Have you ever heard the language of riot? She speaks fluent revolution, refusing to be quiet. Sick of waiting patiently for justice to be served, her demands for human rights is the spoken word, smashing windows, burning down buildings, flipping over police cars, demolishing racist statues of America's Confederate stars, taking money from the pockets of police and prisons, redistributing wealth to our communities is her top mission. Enemies accuse Riot of not being down with the freedom struggle, saying she is a looter, an opportunist, always causing more trouble. They question her genuine concern for the poor when stealing and destroying property she did not work for. They got it all wrong. Riot is a well-organized, peaceful protester, not one to look for violence, but will defend her people forever. Fed up with America's polarizing tactics of divide and conquer, she unites radicals from all backgrounds to stand with honor, fight with every ounce of strength in the face of fear and anxiety, to stake righteous claims of life in a just society, where everyone has food security, affordable housing, good paying jobs, a decent education, and quality health care in this nation under God. Will Riot's enemies ever heed her call for reconstruction or contribute more to America's chaos and dysfunction? That's those pieces.
Yeah. Right
Yes,
on, man.
Abraham.
God, man, your performing voice, dude, it transcends a Zoom call, you know? I love the weight behind it always. And yeah, Abraham, how can people find you online or see kind of the work you're working on?
You guys can find me on Instagram at Poetically Incorrect 562. And I've been challenging myself to do a haiku every day and post it on Instagram every day for this month, as it is National Poetry Month. So far I've been about 4 out of 5. I actually did 2 on the 2nd because I missed the one on April 1st. So I did 2 of them on Friday, and then I did one Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and posted them on Instagram. Oh, today is Monday. So yeah, so you can find me on Instagram. I'm more active on Instagram than I am on Facebook. So yes, I'll put it in the chat as well, man. So it's great being here. And, you know, if nothing comes up next week, then I'll be back.
Yeah, man, of course, right on, man. You know, life happens, so it's always good when you can make it. If not, you know, we understand. So we love your voice, your poems. I'm already following you. And if anyone here is not, what are you doing? Go check that out. You can also catch Abraham, along with several others you've already heard, be featured on an upcoming mixtape, BWOMS mixtape, Cinemike, poems dedicated around the world of film and movies. That is coming out this week in celebration of Poetry Month. Yeah, that's one of the many projects I've got working on, as well as the online open mics. So be on the lookout for that. If you want to be kept up to date with all the things we have going on, you can just follow us on our social media. You can just look up the Barbed Wire Open Mic Series. If you just type that in, it'll show up: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Barbed Wire Open Mic Series, or BWOMS. Okay, thank you, Abraham. Speaking of haikus, our next performer is quite the master of them. In fact, you can even say he's adopted his own style, the Franco-coup. And it's always great to hear from him, what he's been working on. It was nice seeing him at my workshop this past Saturday. We have Generalissimo in the house. As always, how are you doing today, sir? Welcome. We salute you.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, I thought I was muted for some reason. Okay, hold on one second. I'm gonna pull this up. I think I might have that piece as one of my 30 and 30s because that's what I'm going to do today. So I'm actually doing a set of 30 and 30s from a group, a Facebook group, and these are my own 30 and 30s on myself. Yeah, actually it is. Oh, what do you know? So these are my personal 30 and 30s. Day 1, April Fool's Day. The first is a haiku called 30 and 30. I must be a fool to think I can write 30 poems in 30 days. Another haiku entitled The High Fructose Corn Syrup Laden Sauces / Dips Are Free. Buy 10 McNuggets, get 10 McNuggets for free. What a fucking deal. Excuse my language if that offended anyone. Day 2, April 2nd, target practice, another haiku. Got needled by a nurse for Pfizer first dose vaccine, 3 weeks till safety. Another haiku, egg-tillas. When I crack an egg in my tortilla maker, it fries and flattens. The next is called Where All the Cool Layback Folk Will Hang Out. It is a sandwich poem. Crispy, balsamic black pepper, flavored chickpeas on the side of a grilled cheese, provolone with freshly shelled fava beans and chopped fava skins and green onions, seasoned with ginger and caraway, on fluffy Iraqi samoon bread cooked in an electric tortilla maker. To the bread gets crunchy, crispy, top and bottom, not as messy as you think, but everything you'd expect it to be, with a cold cucumber / wet palm sugar / horseradish side sauce and some nice chilled Kamada tomatoes. And to cleanse your palate between bites, accompanied by ice cold cardamom barley tea, a culinary cultural combo meal that would have been good with pickled herring and onions and dill marinade, but perfectly satisfying without, because pandemic meals are like pandemic poetry. I surprise myself with my expanded repertoire, and I believe I should open a little tea house / sandwich shop / poetry parlor in the abandoned mobile station on Old Bath Road, but I will need to launch a Kickstarter or Indiegogo campaign to fund it. That is one entire sentence, people. Day 3, wake up fall. When I woke this morning, I tried to figure the day and guessed tomorrow. Day 4, I have stayed in, this is a haiku, another haiku without a title. I have stayed inside another entire whole day, deprived of fresh air. Day 4, this was the one I did for, this is also on day 4, the one I did with in Richie's workshop. When a house guest unintentionally overstays their welcome. My dearest isolation, I will not cave in to misguided emotions and call this poem a love letter. You have become my unlikely muse in these days of wine and COVID. What should I say? You usually arrive in my life during a depressive episode or as a side effect of anxiety. This time, I chose to ask for your lonely company and loathe these many months. At first, you were a necessary roughness, then morphed into a secret lover cuddling close to me under the down alternative comforter. I would feel sad and you held my hand, which mysteriously morphed into a hug. Sometimes when you held my hand, you'd raise it high in the air and we'd find ourselves atop a steep roller coaster hill that led into an endless loop-de-loop. Every day I would open my laptop and explore a world of poetry. I stepped on stages in New York, San Francisco, Nashville, Paris, England, Ireland, Singapore, and even way down in old El Paso. If Zoom gave airline frequent flyer miles for after the pandemic, oh, the places I could go. When restaurants closed, the countertop kitchen appliances climbed out of their cabinets. I opened a James Beard award-winning residential single-client catering cafe and wrote a best-selling poetry recipe book that garnered me a TV show on a cable channel that does not exist. Isolation, when I invited you to stay, I found a muse. I guess I wasn't as alone as I thought I was. And hey, April 5th. On overcast days, the sun is still shining bright to light up your soul. But today's already April 6th, but I haven't come up with something yet. But that's all my 30 and 30s, and I hope I didn't run too long for you, Richie. So
No, that's fine. Appreciate that, Brian. What else you got going on this week or month that you'd like to promote?
Oh my Lord! Well, this week I'll press enter and see if this works. Hold on.
Yeah, because I saw you featured in at least 2 or 3 events.
Yes, tomorrow I have an event called the 1428 Poets out of San Francisco. I put all the event, everything in there, and if you go to my Facebook page, you can also find everything. And then Saturday is the Word is Right Marissa's thing, in which I'll co-feature with Jeff Cottrell. Tomorrow's I co-feature with Francesca Kirkpatrick from Nashville. And then on Sunday, I'm doing Creative Expressions in New York City, which is a really wonderful Harlem open mic that just has a wonderful variety of different kinds of people and really spectacularly, a very, very spectacular kind of low key, wonderful event. I think Trisha has been there, and it's really, I can't say enough about this event and the people who run it. So if you want to come and listen to me, but listen to everyone, because you should always listen to everyone when you come to open mic.
Great words leave off of that. Absolutely. Thank you, Generalissimo. Well-deserved recognition, some feature spots. Check out that podcast.
Oh, you know what's going to happen?
Up?
In July, I'm going to finally do a workshop with Tumblewords.
Yeah, awesome. Glad to hear it.
It's going to be about breaking rules and creating new poetic forms.
God, I love it. I love it. We have to go to that one. Awesome. We'll look forward to that. Thank you. Sweet, man. So that was quite a bit. So much I think you had to like get into a meditative state to go inward and remember all those places. They're worth checking out. He did leave it in the chat. Yeah, check it out. And Generalissimo has been very instrumental in connecting a lot of people as well. So I got to give a shout out to everyone who is kind of taking on that role and kind of open doors and windows for a lot of these venues and different types of programs and shows to be able to be more interconnected. I think that's a very beautiful thing. And if we're not doing that online, we're messing up somewhere, you know? So it's nice to be able to have all this interconnectivity. All right. And speaking of such, you've already heard her show and herself mentioned quite a few times already on the show. But let's go ahead and welcome up our next performer. We have Finn Bell in the house. Make some noise and welcome her to the stage. How are you doing today? Welcome back.
Good. I'm in my pajamas, so I'm feeling comfortable now. I was trying to sit in my dress for a little while that I wore to the New Year a while ago, my sparkly dress. And I'm like, nah, I can't do this. The skirt's too short. I took my dogs out to the bathroom and I was like flashing the whole neighborhood. Yeah. Okay, so with that, I'm going to share a kind of new poem. It's called Doppelganger's Litany. When I begin days, I enter the room, or does the room enter me? A girl who wears my honey brown skin was in the room with me today, but she wore a slightly altered face. A girl visits me every day, a different one for each way the sun positions itself through my open window. She comes through and sits in perfect quiet and smiles, waiting her turn to speak, waiting for permission to move. When I am ready, when she is ready, she looks around, takes the complete measure of the space, opens her mouth wide, taking the air with the surface of her hard palate, much like a cat. A quick flick of her tongue to confirm all she needs to know of this new world beforehand. When she is done, she swallows the room, or the room swallows her. The world wants me only pineapple exotic. Pray for us. The world wants me to please speak only English in here. Pray for us. The world wants me to clean up their mess, but go back to my goddamn country. Pray for us. Let us pray. When the world creeps between my thighs, it impregnates me by force. It calls me the debacle and immaculate conception, feigning an unsullied white. But doesn't virgin sacrifice demand blood, and doesn't blood stain red and then rust? Today a girl comes and decides whether to sip or gulp down this room. When she can pass beneath notice, she breathes a sigh of relief. She has always known she was only as good as each face she made sure to tuck and smooth over the previous face, rotting underneath. Do not take the blessing of code switching in vain. Blending in is a gift from the gods. Our Lady of Culture gone to the wayside, pray for us sinners. Amen. This next one is going to be actually from Richie's Tumble Words led workshop. Actually, the next two ones are both from that workshop. First one is called New Gods. And this was the prompt that Richie mentioned a while ago, the poetic, what is it called, Richie? I forgot.
Snapshots.
Snapshots, yeah, new gods. No gods in attendance to hear us cry for help. Our isolation is absolute. In this chaos and fear, we have become mired in a god's weekend concoction, drinking games to amuse them while they laze on Mount Olympus bored out of their gourd. Is it a simple fix designed to produce order at its conclusion? Do they fell us who they decide are weak or unworthy by closing their eyes and pointing? Is this their way of splitting the chaff from the wheat? No gods in attendance to hear us cry for help. Our isolation is absolute. We are moths. We are the first woman. We are compass leading us to warmth and safety in numbers. When we are left to our own devices, we conjured up fire in a darkened room. We attracted to its solitary light. We find answers in glowing screens. We find a pantheon of new gods to worship within many empathetic 3 by 2 inch rectangles. And last up, this is called Hold Up. I began curating different playlists for different periods in my life, for ever-changing moods, for fluctuating energy levels. Spotify can become an addicting hobby when you find yourself with time on your hands, non-existent, because you can group your music in tidy sections, a sort of obsessive-compulsive digital music scrapbooking. Musicians like Prince and Patsy Cline, who don't have much in common with one another in the outside world, save that they can sing, find that they can become cozy roommates really fast with the people they find themselves sharing a media file apartment with. So, on one of my tangents, about 6 months ago, a friend and I were chatting, filling up lulls in an online class, and we got to talking about the tiers that women in all their girl code attempts used to distinguish those women who were acquaintances from those who were friends, from those who were friends, from those who deserved to be on a shelf of honor labeled in bold letters, rides or dies. She said, "Oh, I know about those women. These are the women who you bring with you to drink shots and dance like wild two-legged minxes at the nightclub. These are the women who hold back your hair as you puke out the tequila and bile and this afternoon's burrito into these tiny porcelain club toilets. And these are the women who, when someone slights you, where are my girls at, from the front to back, to whom you can simply mutter, 'Here, hold my purse,' and commence to administer a smackdown." I was taken by that phrase she coined that I made a Spotify playlist for it. It makes my lips crimson on shitty days. It sets my shoulders square and ready. It makes me feel so damn royal. The Queen, Beyonce, sits on her throne and nods. Her applause is her bejeweled scepter pounding on the floor. In this queendom I've created with purposeful clicks, Carly, Ariana, Tibos, Chili, and Left Eye sit to her left and right, all equal rulers, all fierce. "Hold my purse," I rasp at them, and they all hold their strong, beautiful arms aloft in unison to reach out and catch it. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. And
Yes. Yes.
lovely. Yeah, I'm really glad you got to make that. So I know you got so many things planned as well in April. Let's go back to what is a good snapshot of what to look forward to in the next week or so.
Well, we have a open mic on Thursday, 2 days from now. 3 days from now. Its theme is renewal. So instead of saying that it has to do with Easter, boo, it has to do with anything, renewal, rebirth, with the goddess Ishtar, however you want to roll that. And then the following week, I have my open mic on Thursdays as usual, but also Tuesday, the 13th is Matty Marroquin's, the very first, the inaugural poetry games. So yeah, everybody, if you want to join and want a little session that's led by Maddie, please attend. We're taking more people. We'll take as many as we can fit into a Zoom room.
Right? Yeah, make it. And of course you have your own stuff as well, right?
Oh,
Link tree, right?
Linktree, my podcast. I'll post that all in the chat. Yeah, it's all on my Linktree.
Right on. Thank you. Thank you, fan. Just go check out the link tree. It's really helpful to kind of have that, like put all your links in one spot.
She inspired me. That's the reason why I had the other one I sent you.
Oh, that's awesome.
She
There you
is
go.
so supportive of this community. It's incredible.
Atlas. Yo, thanks also for recommending Atlas to the mic. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank
we
you.
love you, Miss Unicorn.
That's right.
I love you too.
Nothing but love, absolutely, and thank you for your platforms and projects. Many of us here in this chat, so let's keep supporting each other. I love it. I love it. Sweet. Yeah, I'm feeling good. How are you guys feeling? It's Monday. We're kicking off Poetry Month. Lots of things going on. Keep with it. I always have a hard time doing 30 by 30. I always end up falling behind and having to like make up. So I always do it on my own time anyway. So we're gonna keep going though. I do want to give a shout out to people watching on YouTube once again who are watching with us live. So Amanda Wilson, shout out. I'm always glad. It's always good to hear from you. We do miss your performances. So whenever you have the chance, you gotta come in and spit some poems. We miss your presence. Also shout out to Andres, always here to support. You know, as soon as you get out of work, you get on and start listening. So appreciate you guys. Anyone else as well. And yeah, that's a good segue because our next performer is coming through like they do with something old, something new, something borrowed, and as you know, always blue. Ladies and gents, let's go and welcome our next performer. We got Lee MS in the house. Lee, what's up?
Sorry, I forgot to like remove the virtual background I have for work. There you go. All right, thank you. So yeah, I have something old, something new, and something borrowed, and I'm always blue. So here it goes. Just a second. So this is something old and old-ish. It's from last week, I believe. So it's called Cambio. I have yet to hear my voice without the aftershock of twofold imperialism, the combination of generational trauma and generational abuse, inflicted and inflicting, tied with a knot to my tongue and hanging to the expansionism that kept me and many others from an origin. Following the traditions of the occupied, I don masks instead of self to exist in specific times and places, adaptable, a change at the ready. The Whitexicans mask with el español perfecto frente a los gringos, carente de interferencia estadounidense o española, ausente de modismos, coloquialismos, regionalismos, monótono, esperando impresionar. The first generation immigrant con el inglés golpeado, the notes of anger of the north to the north, los pochismos típicos, palabras inventadas que entienden solo los que cambian de un código ajeno to another borrowed one, robbed from the experience of a mother tongue. So that's the first one. And then this is the second one. Yesterday at like 2 a.m., I was scrolling through TikTok, and of course I run across something that makes me go into a rabbit hole about neuroscience. So here it goes. This is called Perception is Not Objective Reality. The thing inside of me which manages the encasing surrounding me is not me. Let me rephrase that. I'm not the brain navigating the world encasing a meat vessel. I can only perceive the things it thinks we need for survival. I was tempted to call our connection symbiotic, but through this that I am only alive because it lets me. I pull in the opposite direction, parasitic conscious, opposed to our continued existence, benefiting no one. I must admit I was already prone to existential crisis, but no warning was sufficient and I leaped down the rabbit hole, unable now to find me again. So that's something new. And then finally, oh shit, here it is. Sorry about that. Here we go. This is Poemas con Gotas de Clonazepam para mi trastorno obsesivo de mis escritos que estaban en borrador, long name, by Gabriela Maciel. Highly encouraged to read her. She's really like, she just pulls at your heartstrings. Aquí me quedé yo en el jardín de las niñas tristes, donde todas esperan, donde ya no amanece. Aquí estoy otra vez, deshojando margaritas, tratando de colorear sin salirme de la raya, sonriendo cuando se debe. Me explican en susurros extraños que el frío se me quedó en el miocardio, que se irá y que me gustarán las flores, que no debo recibir visitas a la hora del té. Aquí estoy en el jardín de las niñas tristes, desayunando 3 amapolas diarias, olvidando cuánto amé una vez el café, porque me daña, porque me altera, porque me hace temblar. Aquí estoy dando vueltas, aguardando el escape con paciencia, esperando que por fin ya no vuelvas como prometiste por la puerta de atrás. The translation. Poems written with clonazepam drops for my obsessive disorder, from the letters on my drafts by Gabriela Maciel. This is where I have landed in the sad girl's garden, where everyone is waiting, where dawn never comes. Here I am, again, plucking petals from these daisies, trying to paint inside the lines, smiling when appropriate. In strange whispers, they explain that this coldness is now stuck to my myocardium, sorry, I cannot pronounce that, but it will go away and I will learn to like the flowers, that I shouldn't receive any visits during tea time. Here I am in the sad girl's garden, having for breakfast 3 poppies every day, forgetting how much I loved coffee once, because it hurts me, because it puts me on edge, because it makes me tremble. Here I am, spinning in circles, awaiting patiently for my escape, hoping for the day that you will finally not show up like you had promised through the back door. And that's it.
Oh man. Yes, awesome. Yeah, guys, feel free to unmute, make some noise, show some love.
Lee, that was awesome. I'm glad I got the chance to hear you again. I'm sorry I'm not as more energetic, but I've had a very, very long day.
Long day. As always, great selection. Always. There's so much packed in all the pieces, and again, including the translations and everything is amazing. So, do you have a cool hand drawn chart with all the cool places to find you, like always?
Yeah.
It's nice.
There we go. So you can follow me on Instagram. It's cadáveres_literarios. If you don't know how to write that, you can also look me up on Facebook as Lee Martinez Soto. And it has my link tree in there. You can find all of my links to absolutely everything. And then if you want, and this is I haven't been promoting it as I should, but I have a published book through Amazon, and I'm actually just if you want to read it, just let me know, shoot me an email, and I'll provide my email in the chat. And I'll send it over to you either in digital format or I'll mail it to you. The only thing is that I might ask you for shipping if it's a lot. That's it.
Wonderful. Awesome. Definitely check that out. Put it on the list if you're working on that as well. And as you saw, make a donation. If you got a little extra cash on you, at least if you can 1 week, as it says there, more espresso, less depresso. I'm a big fan of that, getting a little bit of a caffeinated rush. Although I'll admit, at this point of the show, this isn't coffee anymore. And anyway, cheers. Salud. We're gonna keep going. Let's see. Lee's coming from El Paso. Our next performer is coming from El Paso. Has always been a mainstay when we were doing live shows at our Black Orchid Lounge, one of the coolest spots in town. And since we've been online, has also just kind of stepped up and been such a huge presence. Honestly, I feel like this wouldn't have been as successful or popular without his consistent presence and I guess you can say gravity pulling everyone in. You guys already know Mr. Monday Night. I was gonna introduce Dan again. Remember when I did that? He has not missed a single one of the Monday night open mics. We have Kit ran in the house. What is up, Kit?
What's up, Richie? I'm going to say that again because I didn't unmute. Whoops. Yes, I'm doing very well. My belly's full of trapitas. My arm is full of vaccine. My liver's full of problems. We're all doing good. We're all doing good. I'm going to read 2, maybe 3 of mine and then the cover poem. The comedians have renounced raunch and transphobia and hatred in general. They have seen their folly, they tell me. They credit me for their Damascene moment. They line up and say sorry and thank you as if it is all one word, a chant for newly shaved Hare Krishnas. They have set up this event, the first of its kind post-pandemic, to prove their sincerity to me. One approaches the mic, and then another. They are all reading aloud from this same worn copy of Capitalism and Schizophrenia by Giles Deleuze. They pass the one copy between themselves as they all take their turn, going for exactly 7 minutes each. It has a used tag from a college bookstore, the University of Vermont. Charlie the Catamount is just barely smiling at me from the crinkled sticker on the spine. Their faces as they perform are intense, and as the others sit and watch, they are rapt. One is taking notes. My companion and I retreat to the patio, and by his leave, I smoke my first cigarette in 2 years. One by one, the comedians follow me out, eager and pleading like seminary students. Is this better? Are we better now, Kit? Have we made up for our sins and our wayward lives? The truth is, I don't know. The truth is, I thought I would always have to fight the comedians for saying one awful thing or another. I viewed it as a responsibility I had to the scene. And the truth is, I have a middle management bred paranoia about what it means when a responsibility gets taken away. The truth is, I like to fight against the comedians. So much that I didn't give a thought to what victory would look like. The truth is, I confess to the one with the notebook, I haven't read very much theory. All right, and this one is some new shit.
New shit?
Like some other people here, I was at Richie's excellent Tumble Words workshop on Saturday, and I got something out of it, I think. We're going to find out together if I got something out of it. Invoking the muse seems like a practical first step to creation, and it is. But the muses are in high demand. They have full voicemails and appointment books. And sometimes when they speak, they are intimidating and unclear. Even the friendly minor gods are still gods, still inscrutable and doing everything only for their own satisfaction. Sometimes we must turn our eyes down to the earth. Sometimes we must turn to the inverse muse. On stage, there is someone trying their best to give the weather report in their head, but always later wrong, indistinguishable from the real weatherman. You can see the rain clouds. You're baffled no one else can. And you're most baffled by the poor person on stage who was 10% of the way there but stands drenched anyway. You have found your inverse muse. In trying the diagram where they went wrong, you will learn about yourself. The things you never want to do or represent. You will discover what you value by its sudden and apparent lack. When you instinctively and subconsciously reach out to correct your envious muse's posture, you will feel your own backbone straighten and oddly grow. Now, in this spirit of negation, I must lay out some ground rules, things you must not do. Do not tell your inverse muse the nature of their importance to you. That can easily go all the way wrong. I would hope this would be obvious, but you can never tell. Some people don't know how to talk to other people without a microphone. You should not think of your inverse muse as a pupil in need of correction. We all resent teachers, even the ones we like. You are not Master Splinter, prepared to christen young turtles after painters. You are two different animals in two different terrariums. Observation is the only job of the poet. Everything else is chance. Last and most important, the inverse muse is distinct from the nemesis, the stalking horse some people need to provoke themselves, the one you must destroy in the field of competition. You must never lower yourself by hating the inverse muse, or rejoicing in their struggles. After all, I believe Gallant loved Goofus like a brother, and would have challenged us all into continental style, dropped gloves and pistols and paces, if he knew why we were laughing. Okay, and then a short one of mine, and then the cover. I haven't, gonna dust this one off. I haven't read this one in a while. I like it. I like it. A friend once told me that she was exchanging stories about me with another friend when they started making out. And it's nice to know that I can bring people together. But which stories? Was it me screaming at a trust fund anarchist in her defense? Was it him convincing people at a party that I could levitate? I need more editorial control over the stories about me. They are a stand-in for me. And I cannot tolerate a corruption in the carbon. A new false kit would arise. I'm a man of integrity. I would be as quick to censor the lionizing as the malicious. I just want the truth to reign. I wouldn't want you to kiss the wrong person for the wrong reason. Not even if it was me. Yes. And happy Poetry Month, y'all. This week's cover poem will be by, I've selected Valentine for Earnest Man by Naomi Shibab Nye. Yeah, speaking of torpedoes, this poem starts with a taco. You can't order a poem like you order a taco. Walk up to the counter, say, I'll take 2, and expect it to be handed back to you on a shiny plate. Still, I like your spirit. Anyone who says, here's my address, write me a poem, deserves something in reply. So I'll tell you a secret instead. Poems hide. In the bottoms of our shoes, they are sleeping. They are the shadows drifting across our ceilings the moment before we wake up. What we have to do is live in a way that lets us find them. Once I knew a man who gave his wife 2 skunks for a Valentine. He couldn't understand why she was crying. I thought they had such beautiful eyes. And he was serious. He was a serious man who lived in a serious way. Nothing was ugly just because the world said so. He really liked those skunks. So he reinvented them as Valentines, and they became beautiful. At least to him. And the poems that had been hiding in the eyes of skunks for centuries crawled out and curled up at his feet. Maybe if we reinvent whatever our lives give us, we find poems. Check your garage. The odd sock in your drawer. The person you almost like, but not quite. And let me know.
Yeah, man. I was gonna let you sit in uncomfortable silence for a little bit, just to suck it on. No, but definitely, if you guys want to unmute and clap your hands, snap your fingers, tap your toes, make some noise, cheer for Kits, make that, some of that new Kit.
New Kit. I think it should just be now New Kit. Now every time Kit makes a new piece, it's New Kit.
New Kit.
I like that as a ring.
Yeah, awesome. Dude, nice shirt as well. And yo, you got your list on you? Your listity list?
Do indeed. Let's see. Got the little pink camera shutter here for Kit Run Away. That's me on the Instagram. Got the little blue bird. That's Kit Talk Sports, which it's right there on the label. Ignore this till September. You can find me on Facebook. I'm easy to find. This is my email. It's connected to my PayPal. If you want to drop something in the tip jar, worry about yourself first, though. And yeah, man, this is always the highlight of the week. And I'll give it back to you, Richie.
Right on. Let's see. Let's get the spotlight thing, and as soon as I'm spotlighted, you will enjoy my new background. Little tripitas, tacos there for some of you guys. This reminds me back in the days of Generalissimo with the food backgrounds. Leave that there at least for one. This is making me hungry. Damn. Anyway, so yeah, I'm looking at the list. Quick, sometimes when you work magic, you got to conjure up a spell, and it takes some time. So we're gonna push Domo back a little bit as she prepares and gets ready. While we do that, he was one of the 15. It's really cool, he was featured earlier at the Neo Weekend, celebrating their 1 year anniversary since starting these online shows on the Monday night open mics, and he performed some killer pieces. I was actually able to tune in on the Facebook live stream just as he was performing. The comments make crying one is good. I really love that piece. But let's see what he's got today. We've got Nick Paleologos in the house. What is up, Nick? Take it away, my friend.
I'm doing well, Richie, thank you so much.
Nice,
for,
nice background.
Oh yeah, it's such a great background. I think that yeah, they're growing. Yeah, I'm cultivating more of them. I don't know. I think they're just variants of everyone's moods. I think for National Poetry Month, it's like happiness, and then it goes to like I need to get serious and go ahead and go start writing some shit. So that's what I've been doing during National Poetry Month. I've been writing new shit for y'all. But before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and go do a cover right away. I decided to cover Unmesh Mohidkar, and I wish that he was. I don't know if he's here right now, and if he is, awesome. If not, I hope that he can hear it. This is his piece called "Peace Till I Lie." Hang me, nail me, but you cannot kill my soul, my thoughts, my ambition. Insults don't reach me. Taunts doesn't touch me. Just like the sky, far above I am, live or die. Promise to self is peace till I lie. It was Unmesh's cover from his book, Light, Shadow, Light, which, by the way, you should go buy, by the way. Gotta shout him out. I got 3 haikus and a short piece for y'all. First one. Pen writes spilled spirits. Essence disappears from work, not to the writer. Waking up, cold sweat, a long night of bar hopping, repeating till death. Random triangles, proportions are different, just like everyone. And the last one I made, it's a brand new one right here. I don't even have a title for this one yet. But if I were, it's called Bright on the Bar Stool. I'm still waiting for the venues to open. It's been a year. Many have closed down, like Brighton Bar and many others that closed. I have my ticket in one hand, a beer in another, a pack of cigarettes to sell free booze in my back pocket. Waiting. I've been waiting for a year. How much longer till I can come home? The stage was my home. The crowd was my company. The music, ambient ensemble. Can you unlock the door, please? I want to go home. It's cold outside. There's a virus rampant, and I'm tired. Please take me home before powers beyond my control do. That's all I have for y'all today.
Oh, Nick, man, I'm sending some energy your way. I feel it. Yo, how'd it go today, Neo?
Oh man, dude, I was okay. Like when you get really super nervous and everything, like before the show and everything like that, where every time you perform and everything, that was like amplified by like 30 times. I was just like, I am nervous. I'm internally screaming right now. And I'm like, I got this purple shirt on and everything. I hope, like, God, I don't see my sweat stains. And I'm like, oh my God, this is like intense. And I was like third person up. I'm like, this is going to be intense. But,
well, you did great,
I'm glad.
man.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it was a lot of fun though. It was so much fun to perform, and I'm glad you guys got to hear these new pieces right here, because I was gonna do the 2 old ones, because I was like, let me just get, like, from what I made on Monday night, it was down to those 2 pieces. So I was like, I'll just perform both of them. It makes sense. They're my two of my favorite pieces, and 2 of the pieces that I made from Monday Night Prompts. So I was like, you know what, let's go with those 2. But yeah, you can also follow me at The Real Nick P on Instagram. That's TheRealNickP. I've been posting some stuff for National Poetry Month. I'll be probably posting the new one that I made right over here. The new piece that I just did, the last one, soon, hopefully. And I'll get on to writing more prompts and everything. Thank you so much for having me, Richie. This has been an amazing time, man. And yeah, and if my energy was low, it's because I've also just performed, like, that it was so intense. So thank you so much for having me again, Richie.
Of course, man. Of course. I love the background. I had to create an alternate reality version of it.
Oh no! Oh, that's great. I love it.
I know. Actually, this wasn't even the one you were using right now. Anyway.
That's amazing.
Okay, cool. I lost Nick. Pay the logos, man. Much appreciated. That's just how your flow goes. All right, let's keep going. We got Marissa up next. Marissa is like a force. She's doing so much. She's such a huge, like, supporter of everyone. Like, I really love that. I really love that. That speaks levels. And we're getting closer to doing our, like, cross events. Like, when you start the tour, you're making an El Paso stop, and we're gonna have an awesome, huge event for that. Believe it.
Yes.
Marissa, what's up? Welcome back.
What is up, Richie? Hey, everyone. We have some things in the works for a Texas to Colorado tour. And yes, there's interesting things coming up. So tonight I have a new poem for you. I wrote this a couple days ago. So let's take it for a spin and see if you guys like it. This is titled Red Wine Life. Red wine life, red wine wife. Red wine says marriage is a joke. Nothing like a piece of paper and cuff around your finger to say, you matter. I love you. We are forever. Red wine need, red wine routine, red wine, lidocaine. Cabernet nights become your best friend, where you learn to find yourself. The self you've always been, half your red wine mother, smeared mascara, not the fun way, wasted again. Red wine mornings become something you'd never normally do and nothing you'd ever admit to. Red wine lies at breakfast floating your cereal for you. Red wine lies at lunch, happy hour of get in my mouth before I remember what I'm forgetting. Red wine lies at family dinners with fucking idiots who share my DNA, who are never known to me as family, relative relations of I should have slapped you when we were kids. Red wine lies at work, since it's all Zoom anyway. Red wine lies at luncheons when you're supposed to actually get dressed, look sexy, look available, but not too eager to get him into trouble, just sign that last client. Red wine stains on shirts, red wine smells on breath, red wine in your sights at all times. This is my wine is me, together we are one. I love my wine loves me. Movie mantras of mothers who drink, unexploded popcorn and forlorn dildos, Pinot Noir nights filled with clanking garbage bags. Everyone hears me on trash day. Syrah sign, something is wrong. Merlot mania, sewer system of wasted time. Zinfandel flights to the next city. Red wine voice, red wine choice. Red wine, I don't choose. Not my choice, not my consent, not me, not again. Red wine lies. Red wine lies on my tongue. Red wine lies on my lips. Pussy lips on my cheek, on my breath, on my pen, on my generational trauma, on the cunt I can't shake, beg to come, to not be so alone. Red wine hurt. Red wine fuck. Red wine gone. Red wine buy more. Red wine sighs. Red wine laughs. Red wine shaped mistakes. Red wine knows this is not the last time. Red wine fall over. Red wine sleep. Red wine nightmares. Red wine do-overs in the morning. Tempranillo tries to stop tomorrow. Crimson lies of this red wine life. Red wine. Red wine. I fucking hate you.
Yes, Marissa. Woo, yeah.
Peace, Marissa. Good.
That was incredible.
Woo, fantastic.
I'm just taking it out for a spin. I hope y'all like it.
Right. Can't be drinking red wine.
No, I'm not drinking red wine.
I know. No, I was just saying that in general, not to you particularly.
But anyways, so I hope y'all liked it. Come find me, Marissa Prada, Facebook, Prada Painting and Poetry on IG. I co-author The Word Is Right, WRITE on Facebook. We have incredible lineups of poets. Of course, Generalissimo and Jeff Cottrell will be Saturday. Friday night, we have Cards Against Humanity. So if you want to come, let's, we're gonna take a break. We're gonna take a hiatus a little bit and just do some poets play night. No poetry, just bonding, communicating, getting together, and doing something that is not poetry for a change, but it is Cards Against Humanity, so it'll still be really fucking fun. And then next week we have Marcial Delgado from Albuquerque and Wayne Henry are going to be featuring next Saturday. And to wrap up May, we have Miss Poetica and Special K. We're already booked through until June, so you just stay plugged in. And of course, Red or Green Books, the 10 poets are launching, are incredible. So Red, R-E-A-D, redorgreenbooks.com is the website. And we're also on Facebook and IG, so come find us.
Awesome. You got that whole thing down to a science. I love it. I love it.
Thanks, Richie. We'll see you all next time.
Yeah, of course. Yes. See you next time as well. Man, I remember when when we did a slam team and we went to Albuquerque for the Southwest Shootout, the events were amazing. We had so many people there. I think Hakeem Bellamy was the poet laureate at the time. And I do remember when the after party was the coolest part, where we all just got to hang out and talk with everyone. That was a lot of fun. We're going to get back to those days. Absolutely. And do all those connecting. But that sounds fun. So update on the list. So Domo, I believe, is ready. You guys know how that song goes. Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Mr. Roboto being Zoom. And this is Domo sarcastically saying thank you very much because she was having trouble. But I believe she's ready now and she's going to perform a little bit for us. Domo, how are you doing today?
I'm all right. And hopefully the internet will be too.
All right, let's do it. Let's do this thing.
Sometimes electronics are evil. I wrote this impromptu piece. It says, why? Okay, so yeah, shake that off, shake that weirdness off. I actually started a project. I think that's what they call them when you do things that you do for fun. It's called Conversations with Sound. And I just a little quick backstory. When I took music appreciation class, they taught us about music with no lyrics, of course. And they said, it was like they would make conversations with the music, and then I would see these things and I'm like, whoa, like no one's talking and this is getting heated. Like I loved it so much. And so I started to try to make some conversations with my sounds, and hopefully you guys like them. So the first one is called Study. You guys let me know if that sounds all right. Let me turn on that original sound right there. Okay. Sound okay?
Strum a little bit. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Okay, the two like, ugh, why are you doing that? Okay. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Okay. Breathe. Okay. So this is Study. Thank you. That was the first one. And yeah. The second one, this one's a little more heated of a conversation. When I was writing it, I was like, this is an argument between children and parents. And so that's what I'm sticking with. But I was doing it for my friend when I was creating it, and he said it reminded him of Pulp Fiction. So it's called Pulp Fiction. Yeah. So hopefully you guys like this one too. Thank you. That was the second one. Yeah. And no more guitar needed because I wrote a poem. Okay, so this is called The Man, the Money, the Matrimony. Inspired by my sister. I asked for permission to write this, so I'm excited. She hasn't heard it yet though, so but this is once again called The Man, the Money, the Matrimony. Let me say it out loud. You don't have the resources. Baby broke, one toddler, one help, all bills, no chill. Ask me, no tell me, I want to have my second soon. No man, no money, no matrimony. Homie got me questioning reality like, is there something you're not telling me? Felony to not tell your sister you got a sperm bank in your closet. Got an offshore for that robbery you orchestrated last week. No man needed, no one needed. You moving into your mansion soon? Got room for me? Got it like that, I'll babysit for free. Free me from this puppeteer. No strings attached at last, no rules to relation. I'm not hating, just stating. You don't have stability. Tranquility found in reality, escape. Bring child, watch trees blow through breeze and long for new life, new circumstances. Trance is better focused than dot at the end of sentence, lifelong. Been drawn to extravagant all time, to freedom. I get it. I want to be there with you. Ride off in sunset to utopia, but the hope of ya not struggling with two is slim. When one has been world bending. Incepted into dreamlike state, been recovering ever since, but the walls are still moving, accidental slip still brewing. I cry into the wind. I want you to have all you desire. Wish you higher income. Still gone. Down the rabbit hole I spiral and you ground me. I want your life to be amazing. I would love another person to love, as you say. Wish you could have the baby without the man. No husband to draw ropes to bind your soul. Your character lures destruction. Thanos ready to snap you into oblivion. Pray with me that this darkness of the world does not force blindness to all things light. Pray I find optimism. I want you to have all you desire. I'm sorry for making you think otherwise. I pray God sends solutions to your difficulties, obstacles, and frustrations. Pray for patience. That time brings promise, and I walk with you down paths to dreams fulfilled and tangible. I love you. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the Domo show. Just a part of it.
Domo!
How can we catch more of it as you go online and post new awesome content on your socials?
I just tried out Reels, so yeah, come follow me and check them out. So I have too much social media, but the one you can find is Instagram at creative LYDOMO, creatively Domo. And if you don't have the Instagram, you can find me on the Facebook, and that is Dominique Bethel, the name below, low there, boom, boom, bam. Hopefully you see it. Also I sometimes host this other mic that is called Broken Mic, and they are based in Spokane, Washington, and you guys can find the links on my links. So check it out.
Yeah, awesome. It was fun to check it out last week. It was super fun. Domo, there ain't no FOMO when it's Domo, because you're at the place you want to be. Dig it. Thank you. And as it's been said before, but like even your tuning setup and getting ready is sometimes more entertaining than I think Kit said last time, a lot of the comedians. But you know what? That's a whole other thing. So we're gonna keep going though. We have next up. He has so many intros. I can say class is now in session. Mr. Teso Somok, or as I heard other people say, Teso Somike, on the mic. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm gonna be reading from. Let's see. Can we get close to where? Let's see if I can get this thing to kick in. No.
That green screen.
I'll be reading from an essay I wrote a while back, just a couple of pages. And so this is something that I've been working on for a very long time. I finally was able to put it on paper, and I wanted to share it. So it'll be a couple of pages, so it won't go too long. Property and power. In one dominant Western tradition, power is routinely presented as the grounding concept and property as its derivative. He, she with power owns things. An alternative tradition was undertaken to reverse this order of logical and generative priority. The economic tradition has consistently rejected an allegedly groundless or abstract notion of power in order to locate this absent ground in property, albeit in the last instance, whereas the political tradition had stood matters on its head, arguing that property is itself in need of grounding since it ultimately constitutes a form of, or function of power. This is the argument that put forth by Dick Pells in his treatise, Property and Power in Social Theory, a study in intellectual rivalry. According to Pells, by the time of the 11th century rediscovery of the Roman jurisprudence and the subsequent revival of the Aristotelian political philosophy at the newly founded universities and clerical schools, the West had created the liberal fissure. In reality, this really begins back in 529 AD with John Cappadocia, the Praetorian prefect from Byzantine, who basically readopts what's called the Justinian Code, where there is a restoration of the remains of the Roman law, and it's constituted in 3 large tomes: the Codex Gregorius, the Codex Hermogonius, and then the Codex Theodosianus. And then that becomes basically the basis for most of the Western canon law derived from the Roman part of it. Then later gets redigested as common law in England, and then it continues to where it becomes analytical law later in the 16th and 17th century. In the course of an extended process of semantic decomposition, the inclusive feudal concept of dominion or domain gradually split up into political and economic compartment. As rights of property were defined in a more absolute and exclusive manner, they were ever more readily demarcated from and profile against rights of sovereignty, which were subjected to a process of concentration and substantialization, mirroring essential features of the parallel institutions' fortification of property rights. The consequences of this underlying process are discussed by Michael Hart and Antonio Negri in their book Commonwealth, in which they designate the resulting structure as a republic of property. In this social formation, this exercise of power is wedded to the juridical shaping agency of the owners of possessors of property. As they note, said differently, the political is not an autonomous domain, but one completely immersed in economic and legal structures. There is nothing extraordinary or exceptional about this form of power. Property, which is taken to be intrinsic to human thought and action, serve as the regulative idea of constitutional state and the rule of law. This is not really a historical foundation, but rather an ethical obligation, a constitutive form of the moral order. The concept of individual is defined by not being, but having. This elusive quality of the division of constituted power between the economic and the political is a ruse, which leads Hart and Negri to surmise that the Republican form of constitutional government is but one specific definition of modern republicanism that eventually won out over the others. Republicanism based on the rule of property and the inviolability of the rights of private property, which excludes or subordinates those without property. The propertyless are merely, according to Abe Seiss, an immense crowd of biped instruments possessing only their miserably paid hands and an absorbed soul. Out of this fissure is spawned the contemporary neuro-fundamentalist tenet that individuals' greed is good and that this peculiar form of freedom alone can maximize social and ecological welfare. The privileging of property rights over social or biological needs, the excess of life, is posited as an inviolable right and the wellspring for the exercise of power over things. That is, property, or more broadly, that all-encompassing commodity form, including commoditized bodies, genes, rDNA sequences, RNAi insecticide formulas, financial derivatives and their algorithms, et cetera, et cetera. So I think this is one of my interesting points that I'd like to share with people, is that there is this kind of schism that happens at this period, which is the propertyless and powerless. Following Pels, we can further note that the three elements of an elusive disjunction between propertyless power and powerless property that inscribed this signifying binary. One, power exercise is active, doing, while property exercise is static, having. Two, power is about persons while property is about things. Three, power is shared, multiple, and limited, while property is an absolute and a zero-sum construct. The final concept to take from the model proposed by Dick Pell alludes to the idea of dominion abstracted into this binary fracture. But this also creates a recursive regime of abstraction. We propose that this process of abstraction continues all the way through current capitalist signifiers like collateralized debt, obligations, CDOs, and credit default swaps, CDs. That is to say, a regime in which everything is subject to the floating signifier of the commodity relation. Surplus value can be manufactured out of thin air at near the speed of light without connection to real productive activity, as Peña recently quipped in reference to Maserati's theory of the violence of finance capital. This also reveals how the redeployment of property as possession, which currently forms the basis for the juridical interpretation of actual contract disputes and the disposition of property rights, is really also necessarily a regime of signification. And then I'm going to conclude with this last paragraph. It says, regimes of signification. The idea of regimes of signification comes from the political economics of the so-called regulation school. Their notion of regimes of accumulation and regimes of signification involves study of meaning of cultural objects produced by capitalism. For Scott Lash and Jonathan Friedman, all regimes of signification comprise two main components: a specific cultural economy and a specific mode of signification, the latter being the mode in which cultural objects are defined and located in particular relationship between signifier, signified, and reference. If the configuration of property rights is the exclusive signifier defining the limits of the domain of the law, then this itself seems a case in which the regime of accumulation expresses political dominion through the gross privileging of a particular cultural object that is erroneously assigned standing as the universal standard of due process before the law in the settlement of property, space, place, disputes.
Muy bien, woo, I haven't seen so many essays end like that.
That was awesome, man.
The sign of the. You just blessed it. Oh man, that was intense, dude. I definitely have to
buddy.
go back. Yeah.
So it's interesting. I mean, go ahead.
Oh no. I think you froze a little bit.
You were saying.
No, just classes in session.
freeze?
Go for it. What were you gonna say?
Well, no, just that, that was an essay that I wrote back in I think that was in 2011. It finally got published in, what year was it? So that kind of like summarizes a lot of 2017. So it kind of summarizes, like a lot of the poems that you've seen all kind of center around that kind of concept of regimes of signification, this powerless property, et cetera. So those are really interesting things. And then also around the whole notion of like, where did all this jurisprudence come? It becomes really interesting how that has come to be. So I just thought, if you didn't know, as Mr. Speaker would say, now you know.
Awesome. Yeah, there you go. Sweet. And then of course you do have your Instagram where you post content, and your YouTube channel.
Right.
Which is Gaseous 2019. And the YouTube channel, right? You promote that one as well, right?
I am starting to. I haven't actually gone live yet totally. I I just loaded. I'm using it as data storage right now.
Take that, YouTube.
Boom.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, cool. So, as we just a little past the hour, we only have a couple more people left. So hopefully you can stick around. I think I'm gonna close the night. I'm looking for pieces to share. But we have we have like a surprise entry because I'm always like, I always got to make sure people like, hey, I'm just saying there's some room if you want to spit something. So, yeah, we're ready for that. You guys ready for some dopeness from a dope miss? We got Patty in the house. Welcome back. As always, happy to hear some of that magic. Patty, take it away. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Ooh, candlelit.
Candlelit. Patty! Yo. So I only have 2 pieces tonight. I kind of wrote them barely. So yeah, disclaimer. Okay, first piece. But the constant impending doom of a heartbeat and motion of not being present is a mixture labeled as poison. Life isn't always written in the fashion of love poems. Sometimes life is as imperfect as a misspelled word, as flawed as a honey jar left open, and sometimes as simple as turning the knob at the front door. And when I choose to drink this poison, have you stopped wondering why? Spoken to the wind as I have, turned the edges of each rock to give them their chance at spotlight. And when the taste of my tongue turns to numb, will the sand between my toes be enough? Will the bottom of my shoe say I walked for miles? See, life was always meant to be written in poems. Always meant to fix the misspelling of the same word you type incorrectly. Because my poison isn't always labeled as poisonous. That was the first piece. And second piece, to be able to be consistently in love with the hold of your arms never physically wrapped around my heart. To be able to know the definition of lonely while walking the end of a sidewalk and still feeling as if the world has always been mine. To feeling love without having the tip of my toe stepped upon and the weight of my shoulders swayed. Can you recall the first taste of the slithering of my name as each R rolled into the indentation of Y with no end? Should we call this a series or a novel in which the cliffhanger has always been the stirring of the silver spoon? And is it too soon to change the calling of your name to my love? Is it too late to say all the reasons why? Why hearts pump in reactions to rhythm of flow? Why skin tickles bring sensations and breath holds make you feel alive? Why your lips upon the corner of my ear means the ground beneath me is moving, but I've never lost my balance. Consistently loving love when all the shades of the sky keep changing. Do you remember what it felt like to never lose your socks? Remember the bruises on your knees when you prayed? The repetition of calling you my love. To be repeating those 4 little letters all in their order. To have my name woven in your heart without the sting of the needle points. To my love. Done, son.
Hold on, I didn't see the thumbs up, so it's not officially over. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, you got the silhouette. Awesome. Patty,
Yeah.
dig it. You've been doing some really cool stuff. We were happy to feature you at Papagayo, and you're gonna do some stuff in the future. But for people watching on YouTube right now, how can they follow your work?
All right, it's Patty's _poetic_life.
Hell yeah, perfect, great. I'm glad you were able to jump on here in a little bit. You were inspired by everyone, right? That's how it works. I just
Yeah, actually, I really was.
be inspired, get inspired, inspire others. It's like it's a chain. I love it. So like I said, I was looking for some pieces of my own to share. But as always, as is custom, next up is an individual who has also been here for every single one of these online mics. He has his own video blog series. They're also called vlogs. Dan the Man's Weekly.
Hang on, I'm gonna need a minute. Give me 1 minute.
The whole show, man. The whole show. And you're not.
Shoot. 1 second.
It's just like clockwork. Awesome, man. Dan the man.
I'm trying to set up my camera, but
Mm-hmm. The camera.
all right, hold on.
Buenos nachos.
Shoot me. All right. Oh, damn it.
This is more of Dan's performance art.
Shoot. Look, you stupid piece of. I'm
Hey.
sorry.
All right.
You know what? Can you recite something while I'm trying to fix something?
Can I dance, monkey dance? Yeah, I'm gonna mute you then. I'm gonna mute you. Okay then. Yeah. I mentioned I'm just gonna do my set, Dan, while you figure your camera out thing because you just barely started doing it. I mentioned this coming Wednesday. Also, shout out to Jorge, my friend, the colleague. We do a podcast together. Been attending school together, teaching together for many years now. He's been on the stream, so good to hear from you. This Wednesday I'm doing a workshop for Papagayo. It's not really it's gonna be a workshop. I'm gonna talk about breath. So this is one of my pieces that I like to share during this workshop in case you can't make it. It's a cover poem. So let me put on the hat. All right, cool. Yeah, this one's called The Pragmatist's Guide to Faith by Guante. This is the art of drawing breath, of making visible of what has been invisible. This is a pragmatist's guide to faith. This is singing when you don't know how to pray. Welcome to this space. Know that you are not welcome here. We are all trespassers. We are not welcome here. The universe would like no other thing for than you to not exist. And the proof is in the history you live. Tell me this. What are the odds that this planet would appear in just the right place with the right atmosphere and geology? What are the odds that the life would suddenly spark in the darkness from the carcass of this planet to a colony? What are the odds that this anomaly would spread? What are the odds it would survive and stay ahead of volcanic eruptions, meteorites, and earthquakes? The first drum, first beat, first rhythm, first break, first time the notes broke to form a system. You could hear the first melody, the first multi-celled organism. What are the odds the first location to harbor life would meet another, maybe fight or maybe harmonize? But either way, it would evolve. So what are the odds it would evolve to walk and not crawl, to fly but not fall, to survive every single mass extinction? What are the odds of your existence? How many generations did it take to make you? How many plagues, wars, and massacres conspired to uproot your family tree and salt the earth around it? How many ancestors carried your fire? How many farmers made it through the famine? How many runaway slaves got away? How many soldiers conscripted, deserted? How many times did that chain almost break? How did your great-great-grandparents meet? What was the song playing when you were conceived? Is it inconceivable the happenstance inherent in this life you have inherited? Some see the elegant complexity of bodies or the natural beauty of the planet and say it's godly. There's got to be divine intelligence behind it all because the odds that you would make it through your own are so small. But me, I see millennia trying to murder you. I see 1,000 generations of pain and fear. I see struggle inscribed in your skeleton, and I see you still here. Ancestor armor, star-crossed survivor, an unwelcome guest in a hostile environment. Defiance is your birthright. Fire from the first time you drew breath. A smile on your face. Welcome to this space. Know that you are not welcome here. We are all trespassers. We are not welcome here. So if our drawing breath is blasphemy, sin, or treason, let's keep drawing breath until there's nothing left to breathe in. We are the codes our ancestors still speak in. So that was an older piece. Let me see. Yeah, I got two on my own. I'll share. This one isn't been shared in a while, and then I'll introduce Dan. This one is called. It doesn't matter what it's called. I'm just gonna read it. There are groggy days that sit there, bloated, with abstractions like time or space. When phrases like "I miss you" are just words on a screen. Do you ever stop to listen to the music and everyday things like a passing thought or a smile? You know, my heart gets hungry too. I possibly couldn't keep up with Neruda or the pull of this heavy moon because it reminds me of you. As if I could pull out this sky, this midnight pearl, and marvel at the thought of our very own perigee. If you leave a trail of words, I'll follow them back to you. All right. Cool. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring up Dan now. I think. Dan.
That was awesome, bro. Woo!
Appreciate it, man.
Killer set, Richie.
Start the intro.
Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's an older one. It's a more vulnerable one. That one, if you weren't able to tell, is about a long distance relationship and breakups and love and all that. Yo, so next up we got Dan, the man. He is El Paso's #1 vlogger. If you didn't know that, now you gotta know. But he is here to spit some poems. Yeah, Dan, take it away.
All right, thanks a lot, Richie. I appreciate it. Yeah, just to let you know, I'm gonna share some image. It's all right with you? All right. Again. All right, hold on. Come on. There we go. Thank you. We all know that today, we all know throughout April, since now it's April, it is it is National Poetry Month. Yep. Roses are red, violets are blue, and yeah, to be or not to be. Yeah. And I think you guys may be familiar. I think 2 years ago I wrote this. It was in honor of National Poetry Month. So I guess you're gonna like this one. It's kind of old, you know what I mean. Okay, it is called Poetry. What is poetry? We slam, we rhyme, we write, we read, we word, we match, we see, we note. That's how we notarize word, stanza, notary, poetry, poetrize, notary, solary, notary, word, stanza. This is how we notarize word, stanza, notary. We poetize openly and solely history. In which genre? Life, love, hate, rant, good, bad, music, people, places, things, pet, land, sky, water, sports, politics, hell, you name it. Well, to be or not to be, that is the question. Yeah. Yeah, but the three. Person, place, or thing. Doesn't matter. Okay. What do you think? What do you think?
Yo, man. I think good things. Good.
Yeah. I remember I wrote that 2 years ago. That it was featured on my scenes in my poetry slam. It was at the time when Richie. It was at the Fahrenheit 481 with Richie, and then with the help of Jill Santana, Chris, Julio Ramirez. So I just want to say that's very nice. Okay. All right. Next, poetry once again. Poems, but once again by Emily Dickinson. Okay. It is book 3, Nature, the month of April, page 120. Okay. Yeah, it's section 9, April. An altered look at the hills, a tyrant light the village fills, a whiter sunrise in the dawn, a deeper twilight in the lawn, a print of a vermilion foot, a purple finger on the slope, a Philippine fly upon the plain, a spider at his trade again, an ad straw in Chanticleer. I'm sorry, Chanticleer. Sorry, I'm trying pronouncing that one, but a flower expected everywhere, an axe shrill singing in the woods, fern, odds on untraveled roads. All this and more I cannot tell. A furtive look, you know as well, and Nicodemus mystery receives an annual reply. End quote. Yep. Poems by Emily Dickinson. Okay. Well, we'll get more next week. Speaking of April, it's time yet another A Child's Calendar by John Updike. Okay. Okay. April, it's spring. Farewell to chills and colds. The blushing, girlish world unfolds. Each flower, leaf, and blade of turf, small love notes sent from air to earth. The sky, a herd of prancing sheep. The birds and fields abandoned sleep. A jonquils, tulips, and daffodils bloom bright upon the wide-eyed hill. All things renew, all things begin. At church, they bring the lilies in. End quote. The month of April, the child's calendar. Yep, John Updike. Okay, and I got one more. I may have saved the best for last. I'm going to share another image. Yeah, okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. Where is it? All right. Okay. Shoot, hold on a minute. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay. You know them very well. They are the GFM band. Maggie, Lulu, and CJ. Well, that's Maggie. That's Lulu, and that's CJ. Yeah. Okay. Well, but one of them having a birthday tomorrow, and I'll give you a hint. Hold on. Oh wait, I don't have a hint. Huh? Forgot. Okay. Hold on. Layouts. Here it is. And that's Lulu of the drummer and Vox for the GFM band. Yep. And I know that she really enjoyed the birthday poem I did for her, and it was based on Facebook. You're gonna like this one. It's called Lulu of the GFM. Okay. She is the Aries of the cardinal, the diamond, meaning blissful, delicate, and playful, linking to the element fire, and the daisy and sweet pea of the Asteraceae and Fabricaceae. It's because her birthday is on the 6th day of the 4th month in the year 2004. Born and raised in Jacksonville, the largest city of Florida. From a thriving scholar to her successful rise to fame. As a musician, drummer, Vox, she of the GFM band, she embodies a woman full of drive for success. She is 1/3 of the successful artists as a drummer, backup Vox from a popular band, the GFM band, Gold, Franchises, and Mirror. Her favorite color, red, resembles from gemstones, from red vivid topaz to bloodstone. This color reminds me of the songs from The Red by Chevelle to Seeing Red by Unwritten Law. She symbolizes beauty, efficiency, intensity, contemporaneous, connotation, confidence, drive, vividly, creativity, enlightenment, reliability, patience, complexity, flexibility, portrait, faith, friendship, and most importantly, family. Lulu, my friend, here's to another year of experience. I wish you and all three, well, all the family, all the best in your future endeavors. Keep up what you and your sisters do best. Well, as a drummer, well, you as a drummer, Lulu, and all three as a team for the GFM band. My best to Maggie and CJ. Hope all is well. Okay. And yeah, and right here, that's Lulu right there. Yeah, you see the wall of the GFM band right there. Oh, okay. All right, what do you think?
Cool, man. I hadn't heard of them before, so.
Yeah, okay. Well, I have a brief announcement to make. I'm planning on making a book based on my poetries that I've done for more than a decade. So yeah, it was not long before it was years before I started my blog, and years before I became involved with BWOMS and the 306, and it's going to take a while to organize everything. So, and I would like to create this one as a book, and I would like to, so I would like to share that. So that way I would like to gather up everything and have it sailed and have it printed out and create a book out of it. But maybe part 1 or part 2, it will be nice. So part 1 will be published and part 2 will be published once again. So it will be nice. So just letting you guys know, but it's going to be a while. So that's my plan, to create based on my poetries I've done over the decades. The one more than a decade. Okay. All right, you guys. Just to let you know. Yeah, hold on. Oh shoot, not this one. Hold on. Where is it? Okay, guys. Y'all know what. Okay, guys, here it is. Read it and weep it. Y'all know what to do. Just follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, #DanTheMans Weekly. Find Dan the Man's Weekly on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to that channel. All right. So, all right, you guys. Thank you. Oh yeah, I like the nachos. Yeah, nachos. Okay. All right, you guys. Thank you very much. You all have a wonderful evening. Back to you, Richie. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Dan. So with that, we're going to go ahead and end the live stream. I want to thank everyone who has tuned in today. Man, I even saw that Lynn Lane dropped in a little bit at the end and was showing some love on the YouTube live stream. I don't know if you're still there, but we're still anticipating your return to the online mic to share some of your pieces. But we're going to go ahead and end the live stream for today. We're going to continue in the after party, casually hanging out, no pressure, just chilling. We'll be back next week. Be on the lookout on YouTube for the stream, for the sign up and all that good stuff for the live stream. My name is Rich for BWOMS and Stay at Home Open Mic. All the performers tonight, show them love.